SirenSong lover coming in. We're going to do some readings, do some energy collective clears. Hanging out with the coworkers, just getting set up as we come in. Letting people come in. So I guess, yeah, we allow time for people to come in. Let's see how long we're here today. Wipe off, clean off. Hopefully the coworkers will help me keep everything kind of clean. Impossible to ask for. Yeah. And here we go. Alright, well, hopefully your day is treating you well. The energy, I always talk about like the energy. The energy is crazy out there. It always is, but especially chaotic and crazy right now. So, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm tired of it. Anyway, so any good spiritual person will tell you to start with a clean workspace. So right now we're just cleaning up our space. I especially have a million cats, and my space is always invaded with cats and cat problems. So, you know, always cleaning before we start work is important. So, spiritual hygiene, make sure you have a clean space so you can create with clean intention or clear pathways and channels. A lot of people want really good things, but they have to clear out the channels to get what they want. So how can you ask for really cool big things if you don't have a clear way for it to come in? Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out which workspace I want to work on today, so we're just kind of cleaning around. See what kind of toys we can get out, have fun with. That wasn't really spiritual tools, so I was getting out there. I was just making space on my other work table in case we move over there, because I might. I'm like that. I like to change heights, positions, places often. It's hard to catch me twice in the same place. Maybe, I move a lot, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Having an encounter with me is like getting struck by lightning. That's a true statement. There's lots of people that have encountered me that feel like they've been struck by a smooth criminal. No, I don't know. Which isn't true at all. I'm just me. Anyhow. Okay. I'm gonna go grab some tools now that my workspaces are kind of cleaned up. We'll figure out some dynamics there. Coming on up with some tools, getting some cards out, get those going, and just letting people come in, letting people find me, just tuning in, tuning up, I don't know. Alright, give me a minute, I'm gonna go get my drinks ready. I guess go get my drinks out in the room. Just a moment. Hey love, I'm just getting set up as people come in, so I'm gonna be moving around. I'll be reading in just a few minutes. I'm just kind of getting set up right now. So come on in, chat, say hello, grab your tea, grab your water. Let's talk about it. Give me just about 5 minutes and I'll start reading. Again, I want to get people, get time getting, get some tea, get relaxed, and then we'll get into it. Think of some questions that you want to ask or channel some spiritual insight you want to know, and let's go. I'll be back. Larry Joe. Okay, I'm kind of back. Hello, Larry Joe, SirenSong lover. Just gonna fill my water. Again, just kind of getting all situated, getting all set in. Let's get some water. Let's get some tea. Let's get hydrated. Let's sit. Let's ask questions. I think I'm gonna change the lighting scenario for a moment. The weather's acting a little weird here, so we may end up. I don't know how long we'll be going today. We'll go as long as the weather allows us, or the coworkers, or my own patients. Badger, thank you, sir. Dogs helping themselves to food because they feel it's theirs, which, whatever. He's a dog. All right. Hello. I was just standing outside thinking about it being Sunday and it being Leo's day. The sun, we think royalty. I don't know how I'm feeling about that right now, though. Like, my Sunday's feeling a little less than royal and just a little less than, excitement and joy. I don't know. Just, the collective energy right now. And I'm feeling, just pressed. So it's drink water, breathe, meditate, rest. Yeah. I don't know. Feels like we're on the merry-go-round and we all got spun because the merry-go-round started going too fast, and yeah. I know. Well, yes, and I have heavy Libra placements. I have heavy Libra placements for myself. So there is a lot of retrograde. There are so many retrogrades going on, and then it's we're in the north and the south nodes being in Aries and Libra, and we're also in yes, you can't forget about Uranus, because that little boy being in retrograde is something. But being Libra, and we have Lilith and Libra doing some business. So Libras we're in the microwave. We're in our villain arc right now. So if we look like we're losing our mind, it's because between now and Thanksgiving, we are cleaning house. And it's exhausting cleaning house. And I don't just mean clean house cleaning house. I mean energetically, cleaning the people out of your lives that do not belong there. Do not have any place. Do not need to be in your future. That is the biggest thing we need to start realizing. Some of the places that we are going, people can't go to because it's too cool to get in and they would just mess it up. So don't take people with you that would ruin the time, the good time. And so we're all doing a lot of retrogrades in the planet right now, and there's a lot of structure changes. So the biggest thing is just hold on to your hats and keep pushing, keep drinking your water, breathing, meditating, resting. I had a huge scenario happen with that yesterday. I don't know why I'm saying it scenario, but I had a tower moment where something that had been lost, I didn't know was lost, and I would have been very upset about that, was found, and it came out of nowhere. So it was like, I didn't even know it was missing, but then it was found. And I was like, that just creates so many other questions, concerns, situations, and all I can do is just breathe and do the best I can do from this end. It is kind of a weird yet cool story. So my animals are in a different state. My animals that are like my former family animals, like the family animals I shared with my ex and my kids, they're in a different state. And my kitty, who, I don't know, I talk about kitties a lot, but kitties are sacred and they're our guardians and they're our angels. Well, our kitty that was across the country in a different state, like 2,000 miles away, got lost. I wasn't informed. The person that was taking care of her knew, and then the person knew, but nobody told me. So somebody went to such great lengths to track me down for my kitty that's across the country. And she had told me about how she had lost her kitty, her long-term kitty, and how my kitty had reminded her mannerisms of that kitty that she had lost. And my kitty had gone missing on my brother's birthday, which has weird spiritual significance, but she made it pretty far in a short amount of time on my brother's birthday. So I'm like, maybe she was trying to make it across the country to come home to me. Maybe she knew it was time. But this woman had found her, and if you know anything about the heat in the desert, it's brutal. Well, she found her. My kitty was distressed, but the lady's like, I knew she was taken care of. I knew that she was loved. So this lady, and the part of town where she was found is really busy, and it's really dangerous. And so this lady risked her life to save my kitty, and she had been calling and looking around for 3 days to find me. She found me, which is really hard to do, to find me and to get through to me. For other situations, we'll just say that there's a lot of communication disconnect, not always my own. And she risked life and limb to rescue my kitty. She spent so long trying to find her owner, and then she called me, and I just had such a connection with this woman. And that sounds, but I had such a connection with her. And for me, it was like my angels are working thousands of miles away, even when I'm not there, because that kitty reminded her of her kitty and mannerisms, and how it's like God will send us angels, whether it be cats or humans, right when we need them, to remind us that we're loved and that we're taken care of and that everything is sacred. Whew. All right. Anybody else crying? Is it just me? Are my tear ducts like just full till like sometimes God will send you angels when you least expect it, and in the weirdest freaking form. And if you don't believe in it, I don't know what to tell you. Like, okay, so I'm just gonna pull from the True Emotional Oracle deck. I love that on the bottom it says karmic lesson, and yesterday it was like, for me, it was the karmic lesson of entrusting entities that I love to the wrong people. Like, I entrusted the care of my animals to the wrong people, and I'm not happy about that, and I had been fighting that for 2 years to get my kids and my animals back, and my animal went missing, and there was nothing I can do. The only thing I had was the grace of a stranger who fought like hell to get her home. Okay, well, that is all right. So don't entrust the people that you love the most to people that are not trustworthy. I guess that's, and I've been learning that lesson. I've been fighting that lesson for a bit. Like, I've been cleaning out my closet. I've been cleaning out the people that have not been helping me ascend to my highest good. So, mirroring. It looks like there's mirroring going on. So however you're feeling, other people are feeling too. I had that conversation with my boyfriend this morning because I was talking about telepathic bonds and how if you're thinking of someone, they're thinking of you too. Or if you're really connected to someone, and I'm really connected to a bunch of people, when you're really connected to someone, like, you feel what they're feeling too. So if you're feeling disconnected and isolated or angry and upset, everyone around you is too. Everyone is a reflection of your internal world. So if you're fighting with everything and everyone, it's because you're fighting with yourself. And if you want a happier life, you have to be willing to make the change within. So let's look at this as taking that mirror, and instead of being angry at the other person for what they've shown us, take and look at, like, they have given you a gift because they showed you a side of yourself that you can't see without being shown it. Like, it's like your blind spot. When people mirror back to you ugly things, don't get mad at them. Be like, thank you for showing me an aspect within myself that I need to heal, or that still needs attention. Firestorm. Karma, drama, endings, loss, mental breakdown. Firestorm. Karma, drama, endings, loss, mental breakdown. How have you put yourself in the firestorm? How do you need to start cleaning up your circle? How do you need to start making your life your own? I want to talk about kind of like a controversial, like, biblical topic for a second. Jesus was crucified because he told us, the people, that we are going to do greater works than him and God. The God that we were told, that's like a man, he wrote a book about himself and he told us all these great things, but he said we can't be any better than him or equal to him. Well, they crucified Jesus because Jesus said, you are equal to him and you are better than to him. Like, we're all here having experience. It was just this dude wrote a book about it and then forgot to give us the really important details, like how we're able to do those works. Like, yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense. Maybe that was just a rant that I've been meaning to get out, because I'm like, we're all the masters of our destiny. Like, God can't kill you, only you can end this scenario. The devil can't kill you, only you and your choices and who you're hanging around can end that scenario. Like, I've had a lot of time in the last few years where my faith has been tested and I've prayed to a higher source for relief. Yet, if they truly were that powerful, they would be able to grant my wish. So I have higher power than them. They cannot impose their power over my true will to keep going. Because at the end of the day, it's me ultimately that says, I want to keep signing up for the adventure. Not God saying, okay, it's time for you to go. It's me and my choices and who I hang around that says how my life is lived. I hope that makes any kind of sense. Or if that does make sense, please let's talk about it. Because, I don't know. Stop letting other people dictate how you live when they are not living the best life themselves. Okay, cope. How are you coping? How are you using vices to deal with the opinions of others? Are you doom scrolling? Are you drinking? Are you smoking? Are you vaping? I'm the queen of vices, and I know I still have vices. I do. I've cleaned up a lot, and it's how do you moderate. All right. Let's see. Sweet talk. Don't let the sweet talk of 3 a.m. nothings get you into bad places, into coping in unhealthy ways. Living in the moment. You need to live in the moment and not use addictions to, like, deal with the pain. Live in the moment. Live in the pain here and do something about it in real time. The universe responds to action. Like, if you do something right now, the universe says, yes, right now. There's an effect. So, you can't ruminate in the past. You can't live in the past. You can only do pattern recognition. And you can't forecast for the future because all the people, places, things aren't in place yet. The only thing you can do is live in this moment and react dynamically. All right. which my reacting dynamically, I need to take a breath for a minute and maybe sit down for a minute. Let's see. I'm gonna drink some water now. Oh, excuse me. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, the last few days. Sorry, I was doing my own little. Oh, I got hair in my mouth. I'm not used to having hair this long. I know that sounds. I don't ever let my hair grow long. Like, if you'd seen me in the past, my hair has always been short. So when I get hair in my mouth, or like I love to also ride with the window open with the hair in my, like the wind in my hair, and then I'm like, so it's adjusting. Now I know, like, when I go out driving, I braid my hair because I'm accommodating. It's, yeah, I feel like I've had to explain everything my whole life because everybody's always just like looked at me like I was, I don't know. Oh, I've never done it or seen it that way before. Well, just because you've never done it or seen it that way before doesn't mean that it's not a valid way. I don't know why that specific quote came, and there was a face of like one of my past life karmic connections I just wrapped up recently where he didn't like the way that I did things, but that was because I did things the way he had never seen them before, so he was cognitive dissonance, like, oh, it can't be done. Well, it can. You just have to be willing to see if my way works, or you have to be willing to, like, don't shun me because you've never seen it done this way before. Ask if maybe I have a valid point. Maybe. Oh, sorry, Babalo. I'm kicking kitties with my little legs. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. This, I'm not sure why. The Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle has been calling, and I had picked it up yesterday during the live, and I had started reading, and it had gotten so dark outside. And I was like, yeah, it just wasn't feeling like it was the time. I do love that card that fell out was the Harpy. How are you embodying that woman, half bird, half woman, shrewd, see with eagle eyes, see with that precision. Let those fierce, oh, it's chaos. So let those fierce war cries rip through the air and bring chaos to be able, okay. So here actually is, this is what I love with Harpy. If you know that, okay, so Harpy, you get to see things from the sky and have a bird's eye view. So yes, when you come down and rain down, you are going to bring chaos, except for because you've been watching from the sky, you are going to be able to bring chaos, but you'll be able to grab from your life, from that scene, what you need. Like, it's that whole create chaos over here so that you can actually grab the true prize over here that you need. So how are you using your shadow side to integrate your chaos to be able to get the end results that you wouldn't have been able to had you had a different perspective, or had you been having a perspective from like the human, like, operation of principles and bounds. How are you using your foresight, your vision, your position to be able to create change in your life that's going to help get the biggest results ever? Is it still dark? I'm seeing it on this side, but all right. Sila, resilience. Hold on. So I see it on my end, unless is it still out? Because I wonder if my Wi-Fi is acting weird because we're about to get a storm. So let me know. Sila, resilience. How do you keep pushing through? And like, this is a prime example. Like, even when the camera's out, how do we keep pushing through to get the results that we need? So my guess is if my camera is out, but I still have volume, the Wi-Fi is probably like unsteady, which makes sense because of where I live and the weather right now. Like, if I were to show you the weather, it's about to get ugly, and yeah, it's no joke out here. So Wi-Fi may just not be strong enough to carry. So I'll keep going for as long as I can, and hopefully everything will steady back out. And thunderstorm. Oh, okay. So we'll just call me Tropical Storm Lara. The weather pattern is me. I've always been known as like a tropical storm or a hurricane. One of my kids, we call her a hurricane, but this is thunderstorm. But we live off the East Coast, so we get a lot of like stuff that comes up from the tropical storms and the hurricanes. I don't know why I had such a hard time pulling that out. I could see it with and I can see like the eye of the storm. I don't know why I can see the eye of the storm, but I can't think of the stupid freaking name. Anyway, so we get some of that precipitation and weather patterns up off of that, so it gets pretty crazy like that. I come from the West Coast though, and where we lived, we didn't have natural disasters. So the first tornado we went through, like every time we've gone through a tornado since moving here, and it feels very Wizard of Oz. Like, I'm glad it's back now. So we'll see what goes on. I have a feeling it's not the last time going out, and I have a feeling the like electric may actually go out today. I live in such a weird, cool area, but yeah, if you like supernatural stuff, like around my area where I live is a perfect place for it because we have all kinds of stuff. So sometimes when I'm driving through and we'll have fog, we'll have like a heavy fog. And it just feels so freaking eerie. Anyway, tornadoes, because I wasn't used to those, were terrifying. The first tornado after we moved here, like we'd been here 2 months, and it was a really big tornado, and it was, it created a lot of damage, and they weren't used to that either. So we all kind of got like a whirlwind adventure to 2021 when we moved here. Sila, resilience. Okay, so Sila and resilience. This gives very much Medusa. How do you keep enduring? How do you keep pushing through and going? Even when everyone wants a piece of you, even when everyone has turned against you and or catching their eye creates you distress and harm. Like, how do you keep going? How do you keep persevering? How do you keep pushing through to the end? Even when you don't want to. The biggest thing, you can be mad, you can cuss, you can scream, you can throw your hands up, you can throw shit, you can sit down and rest, you can do anything. Do not give up, ever. I don't even care if you sit down for 5 days. Don't give up. On day 6, get up. You'll be happy you did. Keep going, even when it hurts, because I love this synchronicity came up is all of the bad stuff happened. So now what's the really cool stuff we get to build after storms? So I know I mentioned it before. I know I always mention all the time Abraham Hicks. And then what happened? Like, if
something really cool is happening, like, and then what happened? When you're building the future for your life, what details are you adding to that future? What details are you using to fill in? And that way, when that reality, that big thing that you've been working so hard, you've been persevering, you've been doing all of the work for, even the chaotic stuff that hurts, like, what does that look like? What does it feel like? Because if you don't know what it looks and feels like when it happens, you're not going to be impressed. Or when it happens, you're not going to realize that that's what you've been working so hard for. Dream of your perfect life and ask, and then what happened? Make the most beautiful life, and don't spare any of the details. I would love to add, it is the first of the month. Blow cinnamon in your front door, please, to ask for good luck and abundance. If you can't do it into your front door, or you have animals, please be very tender and gentle. If you have a vehicle, you can blow it into your vehicle door. And what this is doing is this is asking for abundance. And with cinnamon, it's fiery, it's masculine, and it's very fine, and like it goes everywhere. So when you're asking cinnamon for abundance or help or whatever you're asking for, be very detailed, because masculine energy is due. And it wants details. It wants that, like, all of the little details so it can build a plan. So when you're asking for abundance on the first of the month, because it's the first, we want to bring it in. Bring in the abundance. And you can put it around your doorstep. You can put it along the walkway that you walk in. That is, you are tracking abundance into the house when you go in. Be very specific. Be very detailed. And then ask for it, and then let it go. Assume it's already yours. Like, if you've seen it in your mind's eye, hello. If you've seen it in your mind's eye and you can feel it in your body, let it go. You know it's already yours. It's just a matter of time before it's in your reality. Like, it starts as a thought before it becomes into your reality. So keep pushing forward, even if it doesn't make sense. Even if you don't get why you're doing it. I've had that talk with myself so much recently. Like, all of this spiritual path has not made any lick of sense. And then it's like, it didn't make sense, yet there was almost like a driving force behind me that wouldn't let me stop. And I guess that's my higher self. And like, she wouldn't let me stop, no matter how tired I was, no matter how any of that. Like, my higher self said, Larry, you've got so much more to do. Get up. You can sit there and cry for 3 more minutes, but at 3 minutes, you're getting up. Like, keep pushing even when no one else is pushing with you. Okay, my old ass eyes can't see that, so. Darkness. It was a challenge to see. Darkness, Nyx. How are you going within the cosmic womb? How are you going within the cosmic womb and finding you, finding the light within you? If you need help, ask. If you need help, ask. Ask your higher self. Ask Nyx. Ask the embodiment or the deity of Nyx. Like, start. The deities that call to you, that's because they have a part of your cosmic mission. So if Nyx is calling to you, and number 19, which, if you know anything about the tarot, number 19 is the sun, which is the most beautiful card in the tarot deck. It's the most beautiful embodiment. So of course the sun, the opposite, would be darkness, that cosmic womb. How are you embodying both sides of your divinity, both the sun that's out regal for everyone and the moon? And I love, Zaire, I love that every day you come in and you talk to me about, like, the days, like it being Sunday and tomorrow's going to be Luna, Monday. Like, I love that comes up. And I love that in this deck, the 19 is Nyx and it's darkness. So we're thinking moon. So I love the fact that the sun and the moon cannot exist without each other. We cannot know we cannot know light without darkness. So instead of being afraid of the darkness because you don't know what is there, embrace the cosmic womb of knowing that there is darkness and there's nothing that you can do except enjoy the ride. if you are in the cosmic womb and there's nothing you can do, right? Like think of when you were a baby and you were in the womb. Your whole job was to be in that womb and exist and grow. That's it. And when you start sitting in the cosmic womb, you will realize your only job is to sit and grow and experience and write home. You're here, sit, grow, experience, write home. Make the best life you can. Experience life to the fullest. Sit in that cosmic womb and enjoy the ride. What do you see? What do you taste? What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you sense? What do you touch? Like, when you go through a spiritual awakening, it's very challenging, because when you first go through it, you feel like a brand new baby, like your skin's sensitive, like everything hurts, like everything's loud. And then you hit, like, it's weird because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm experiencing things I've never had before. And then the dark night of the soul happens, because it's like you were open to this beautiful expansion. You're like, the world is beautiful. You look at that life with like, everything's new, bright. There's so much to experience. And then the reality of the world being so abrasive, loud, constrictive in all the wrong ways. And you kind of hit like a dark night of the soul. And that's like that pilgrimage, that journey within to realize, like, how do I've experienced such great light. How do I get out of this darkness that I myself am in? Like, I'm imposed in this darkness. How do I merge the two? How do I make that pilgrimage, that trek, to be able to find the balance between the two? All of life is like, how do we find the integration within us, that balance between the right and the left, the male and the female, the positive and the negative, the polarities? How do you start becoming the bridge within yourself to balance your polarities? Because then when you do it with you can turn around and find other people that can do it, or that do it for themselves, or you can help other people how to do it. So how do you marry those sides, that light and that dark within you, to make the best, like the highest version of yourself? This has been a life lesson, is that it's like we're so afraid to admit that we do anything wrong, or we're so afraid to admit that we need anything, or we're so afraid to take up space. You have to, though. When you deny that you have needs and wants, you deny like your full potential. Like, denying that you have needs and wants is like denying a plant that it needs water, when that's one of the key main ingredients that it needs for sustainability and maintenance. And certain plants need certain amounts of water to thrive. You are the same. Like, if you tell people emotionally, like, I need this, and they can't do it, well, that's not because either of you are wrong. It's just you don't have the requirements to meet the needs, and you need to be able to say that for yourself. I'm not having my needs met. I need more water. I need more of this. Like, and if they can't help you, then you need to be able to be the advocate for yourself and say, I need this instead. Never be afraid to walk away when you don't get what you want. And I know that sounds selfish and petty, but you have one life. One life. And you are the only one that can live the best life. Be selfish. Be so fucking selfish that your head spins. If this is your one life that you have, like, why are you not doing the coolest things ever? Like, if you want to be on a yacht, smoking a fat stogie in the waters of the Caribbean, I know, whatever, like, people can't do that. Yeah, you can. Who's stopping you, truly? Who? You? Oh, well, I have XYZ. Okay, how do you accommodate it? Maybe it's only a weekend trip where you get to spend 3 hours on a boat smoking a Cuban in the Caribbean waters, and then you have to go back to the cruise ship and hang out with your family. But how? How are you getting the dream life that you want? Only you can do it for yourself, and only you can ask for it. Like, how can you fill a hole that you don't know what needs to be in it to fill it? If you can't sit in the dark with yourself, how do you expect your friend to be able to, or your lover, or your mom, or your sister, or your brother, or your kid? Like, if you have a hard time sitting with yourself when you're in distress and pain, how can you expect other people to be able to? And or when they need help and they're in distress and pain. If you can't sit with your own pain, distress, wants, needs, and desires, how can you hold space for them to be able to do that as well? So, I don't know. Life is so complex and dual. And it's just, and being a Libra, I mean, I've played that tightrope with duality my whole life. And with Libras, it's like a very fine balance. So, and it sucks because, like, I'll be like, oh man, I really like that person. And then something will switch and I'll be like, man, gotta go. And it's a challenge. I don't know. Libra, being a Libra is no joke. I'm not. Good God, Lyra. Okay. This is like, Zyra, you said you're a Libra as well in October. No, you're September, end of September. Okay, if I remember right. Yeah, like people are like, oh, Libras are so cool. I'm like, yeah, love sun gazing. I love a lot of different things. Yeah, I do a little bit of everything. Yeah, okay, so I'm a September Libra too. We talked about that, and it's like, yeah, like Libras are so cool. I'm like, yeah, until you do us wrong, and then you will never see or hear from us again. Like, people think that that's a joke. They'll be like, oh, we're cool. She'll never go. Nope. You should see what happened to the last guy that thought that. You can't play in my face as a Libra. You can't do me wrong because my spirit team will say, you know what? Or my intuition will be like, you know what? No, it's time to go. I don't know. It's such a tricky, and I have some other heavy air placements in like my chart too. So my air cutoff game, freaking Queen of Swords, is on point, and people don't get it. Like, they fuck around and catch feelings, and then I have to go, and they don't get it, and I'm like, yeah, no. This card that came out though was Boundary. Sheila, not gig. Boundary. So this is, I love that I went into that September Libra because, like, I went into the Libra rant because this was right. It flipped out, and I was like, okay, well, you have to set all of that to be like, yep, no, your boundaries have to be strong. Like, you have to embody that wisdom of the old hag, like that witch, like the gypsy. I don't mean old hag or witch, and I'm not trying to be like connotative, but it's like, when you're thinking of that archetype, you have to embody that archetype of that woman who knows how to play the games, knows how to bend the elements, knows how to protect herself at all costs and keep boundaries, even though she's an old woman who seems like no threat because XYZ. So this is, how are you protecting yourself and enforcing boundaries, and sometimes using deception. The beauty of this is we look at her and we're like, oh, she's not anything. No. If you've ever experienced this kind of, the smaller and the smaller, yeah, the smaller someone is, the stronger their boundaries are going to be. So that is the embodiment. And this is number 39, which we'll say is 12, which is 3. So you may have 39 or 12 or 3. And 3 is communication. How do you need the message that you need to protect yourself at all costs? You don't need to care about who gets hurt. And I know that sounds selfish as hell, but you need to protect you because you have a big mission. And no one else can control that. Like, I had a lot of people that tried to control me. And it's like, first off, you can't control yourself. How are you going to control me? Like, talk to me when you can control you. Because you live with you and you can't control you. So talk to me when that happens. Number 2, you can't control my destiny. It's mine. Even if you go snooping in my shit, even if you go trying to hurt me, even if you go trying to do any of that, like, you may slow it down, You can't stop it. What's for me is for me. Like, that person that is for me, they're for me. It does not matter how many people try to end that. My person is for me, period. The cool thing is I know that, so I intuitively know to keep pushing until my realities are manifest. Like, if you give up on your dreams, your realities, what you know is to be true on your spiritual path. So if you have strong boundaries, protect yourself, you have a higher path, know that no one else can affect your destiny. Not even God, not even the devil can affect your destiny. Only you. Because it's the choices you make, the people you hang out with, the patterns, the addictions. Like, okay, so God can't do it, devil can't do it. Like, so drinking, let's say drinking is an example. God can't kill you, but you can drink yourself into a horrible place and die of those causes because you impose that upon yourself. That was your own free will. So you inevitably ended your own life, but God didn't do it. So when people try to impose their will on your destiny, they are unable. You control your own destiny. And as a September Libra, I love the fact that if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it twice. I'm going to take pictures for posting. Actually, I'm an 80s kid. I might not take pictures for posting because I didn't like having proof of shit because, you know, we did a lot cooler shit when cameras weren't on us all the time like that. I don't mean bad, reckless, whatever. It was just like we were a lot freer to feel and breathe and experiment and explore when we weren't always under a microscope like, oh, XYZ. Example of this is one of the guys, and he was older than me. He was older than me. So, you know, he had a little more experience with less electronics. And I was driving him, and he said something about cow tipping. And I probably surprised him because I was like, yeah, I would go cow tipping. Like, that probably is something I would have done as a teenager. And then I was like, I wouldn't go cow tipping now, not because I wouldn't want to, but because I don't want people to record it and XYZ. Like, I want to be able to have fun doing what I want to do without... Now, cow tipping... Okay, so let me back that up, though. Like, I don't know if that actually hurts the cow. It may. And I don't actually truly want to tip a cow because I don't want to hurt them. I probably more pet the cow because that's what I do with cows. Anywho, I digress. So not cow tipping, but probably petting cows and feeding cows. Anyway, not stuff I would do because, yeah, all the fun stuff that we could do, we did. Because we didn't have people constantly being like, oh, do you remember that one time you did that XYZ? No, man. It was one time. I never wanted to repeat it. That's why I didn't do it again. So... Remember that time you made that horrible decision? Yeah, that's why I didn't do it again. I don't want evidence of that. So, I don't know. Life is weird. I never thought I would be out in the dating world again. So the fact that I've had a lot of various dating experiences has been eye-opening, traumatic, painful, chaotic. Like, these boys out there are the worst sometimes. And girls. Like, girls aren't good either. And I had, like, all kinds of... It's just... What is going on with the dating world right now? What is going on with our planet and the earth and humans? Like, we've all gone to hell in a handbasket. I don't know. We're working on it. That's all of the structures are falling so that we don't have to keep living in chaotic structures that we can't support. Like, I was thinking of this earlier. As a woman, I no longer have the strength or the endurance to carry the weight of a man's world on my shoulders. And I shouldn't have to. And I never asked to. Like, it's a man's world, and yet at every turn, this man's world has failed me. Like, I don't have the protector, the provider, the leader. Like, I didn't have that from the get-go and then kept repeating that pattern. And we are all like that. Like, I'm not the only woman. I'm not the only one. But we need to do something. Like, the weight of this world, this infrastructure is too heavy for all of us to carry on our shoulders anymore. So as the women, we have to start saying, you know what, I can't do it anymore. I'm too tired. I'm going to sit down. I can't carry this way anymore. So I'm going to rest. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to meditate. Because us as the divine feminines, like, we have to hold that space for the masculine to be able to sit down. Right? Like, we forget, like, as women, we want to be like, oh, I'm going to provide and protect and everything. Well, you have to hold space for your masculine to be able to sit down and embrace their feelings, their hurts, their frustrations, their emotions, their tender side. Like, women, we create our world, right? Like, women created the world and then we invited man into it. So how are we as women resetting the paradigm and creating our own beautiful world? How are we making our nest? How are we making sure our cups are filled? Because when our cups are filled, then we can invite the man into our lives. And if men say, like, well, I don't want to live that reality, okay, cool, I don't want to live with you. I would rather be alone and be protected as a woman by myself than have to protect myself against a man who doesn't like how I'm living my life. No, thank you. I fought really hard to be able to have autonomy and sovereignty over my own life. Like, I had a dude be like, I want you to give up your animals. No, bye. I'll give up you before I give up my animals. I fought really hard to be able to have my animals. So if you think that I'm going to choose you over my animals, like, I don't care who you are. I know that sounds harsh. And, I mean, yes, obviously there's exceptions and there's rules, but, like, this was someone who felt he had way more importance and be like, yeah, I give up your... No, I'll rehome you before I rehome any of my ancestors and guides. Like, good day. You're not that special. And he wasn't. Like, oh my gosh, that dude was going around town telling people that we were engaged when I did not like, I was hostile towards him because he was a business contact and he really screwed me over. We had a falling out. Well, he went around town singing love songs and telling people that we were in a long-term committed relationship and trying to introduce people as his wife or future fiance. And I'm like, you need some help. Like, I can't stand you, and you're around town telling people, like, showing pictures of me to people saying, like, oh yeah, this is my woman. And I'm like, yeah, I do not have nice things to say about you. So if you think that we're engaged, like, you're gonna be real sad when I open my mouth to tell you what I really feel, because it's not gonna be like he wanted me to fit in this perfect little woman bubble and not have feelings and not say anything and not have expressions. And I was like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. Yeah. Anyway, that was a weird little sidetrack. Anyway, boundaries. How are you kicking? Which is probably what I should be doing, but I'm. The weather again is kind of a little weird. I'm just in here rambling. I don't know if any of it makes sense or helps, or I very rarely connect with people anymore. So when I do, it like means something, but I've had people that will share a bed with me that I can't connect with. So I don't know. I've been feeling like the lack of connection, but I'm also like, yeah, no, connecting with me is a rarity and connecting with me is finite. Like when people are like, oh, I don't have time. I'm like, yep, no, time with me is finite. You never know. Like, I truly, as a Libra, it's like, you never know if our mission together is done, you may never see me ever again. So when people think like, oh yeah, like my ex thought like, oh, I can do all this, she's never leaving, she's never going anywhere, blah, blah, blah. Well, the clock ran out and he got surprised. I was like, no, man, you thought it was going to be forever sitting still where you left me. And my ex was a runner. And, you know, he would come back and be like, oh, like, you still here? No, man, like, if you leave me behind, I definitely will not be in the same place that you left me in. And you only have yourself to be mad at. Like, with my current boyfriend, and I'll ask him for help or to say, oh, I'll help. Well, if you're not here showing up, or if you're not available, or if I have to do it myself because XYZ, I'm not going to ask you again, and you're not going to get the opportunity. You can't be mad that you didn't get to help when you didn't show up on time, or you didn't show up, or you didn't have the right tools. I have a lot of that going on because I've had to tell a lot of people, like, hey, this is where the rubber meets the road, and then they want to argue with me about how I'm wrong or I'm bad or this, that, and the other thing. No, man, I've been telling you long before now, this is what needs to happen, or this is what's going to happen, and then we got to that checkpoint and you thought it was a joke. Well, I was serious, and it's now time for me to go on without you. I really wish people understood that more about us. And that's just a side rant, is that if you say you're going to help, like, super big with Libra, you show up. You're true to your word. Because if you don't get to be true to Libra anymore. Hello! We're doing good. We may have a storm come in. I can move. Hold on. You can see Mr. Badgerman. We're in the house right now because it looks like it may be storming, which... we've had a little bit of video issues because of the internet and streaming, so we'll see how long we're hanging out. We're doing great. How are you, Cottage Country? I just pulled on, so right now I'm in the, I'm just blathering on. Well, come on in. Let's all do okay together. I am in the deep, dark, and dangerous oracle. That's how we're doing over here. We're in the deep, dark, and dangerous oracle. Zyara and I are already in here partying, hanging out. We talked about how you need to embodiment of that, like that crone spirit. How do you need to protect yourself? Sheila Nagig. How do you need to protect your boundaries and protect yourself and use that embodiment? Reciprocity, Chiron 18, which is 9. We speak to closing out chapters. Chiron and reciprocity 9. How are you closing out chapters? How are you saying that this chapter needs to close? I need to fill my cup. Chiron is the wounded healer. The healer needs healing. Fill your own cup first. Ooh, okay. Let's talk about self-love for a second. Cottage Country, I love, because I've been thinking about homework. I've been thinking about the Ho'oponopono. And I've been doing my own homework. And I'm going to give this out in just a moment for homework, too. I got so mad because of everything that happened and how I didn't have a protector when I was a kid. And I got so mad. And I yelled and I raged about how my family didn't protect me or provide or whatever. And then I realized, like, this is gonna be, life isn't fair, and that wasn't right, obviously, but it can't be undone. So what I can do is, for that part of me that needed that, I can say, you know what, it wasn't right, but I love you and I will never let that happen to you again. So it's, how do you start being that safe version for the little kid that you needed protection for? Like, if you look at yourself and you say, the little me wouldn't be safe with myself, then you need to start cleaning up your environment. If little me wouldn't be safe with the people I'm hanging around with because they only want to hurt me or take from me, why are you hanging around them? Because if you wouldn't want them hanging around you or little you, why would you want them hanging around the people that you love the most? So Chiron, reciprocity. How are you filling your own cup? How are you becoming your own healer? So when I go back to, like, if we go back to little Lara that didn't belong to you at 5. Okay, so I did this. I was crying, screaming, driving down the road, feeling my feelings, and hugging myself and being like, you know what, little Lara, you didn't need that, you didn't deserve that, and you are safe now. You are safe now. And yeah, it doesn't stop all the pain and the fear and the heartache of what happened back then, but you are safe now. You don't have to live there. You don't ever have to go back there if you don't ever want to again. That is the beauty of life. If you do not want to go anywhere, you don't have to. If you do not want to hang out with those people, you do not have to. I know that sounds like a lofty statement, It can be done. It's hard as hell. It can be done. I told everybody, like, yeah, hanging out with you hurts me. I don't want to do it. We're not going to do that anymore. And then I stood on that business. And while I miss some of them, at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I have to do what's best for me. And I have to do what's best for my kids. I have to do what's best for my destiny. And if you're not on board with that, that's too bad. This is Nyx coming out. I love that this has come out again for Zyra and I, and just a beautiful confirmation. Nyx, this is that dark feminine energy. Darkness. How are you sitting in that womb? Even though it's dark, it's scary. You can't see anything. You can't taste anything. You can't touch anything. You can't smell anything. You can. You just can't with your human senses. So when you're in that cosmic wound and your dark feminine embodiment, like, how are you leaning into that instead of being freaked out and paranoid and scared? Like, if you're in the dark and you can't stop anything from happening, why are you so scared? Just do the best that you can. Do the best that you can if you're in the dark and you have no way to, like, I guess how I said it earlier is if you're in that cosmic womb, like, our only job as a baby is to show up and grow and experience. And yeah, as we go through spiritual stuff, like, our only job is to show up, grow, and experience and report back. So when you're in that cosmic womb, when you're sitting with Nyx and it's all dark and you're scared, experience. Just breathe, lean in. Okay. One more here. The confirmations, because it came out again. Okay. Sila, so resilience. How are you pushing forward even when you're scared, even when it's hard, even when you're in the dark? How are you being resilient and pushing forward? Sila, this is number 8. Tired of not being able to say. Oh, okay. So that says light. So Sila, light, perseverance, resilience. How do you keep pushing forward even when it's scary? Number 8 is karma. How do you keep going? You have got to keep going. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can just be displaced. So when things are really hard, you actually think you stop, it's not stopped, it's not destroyed, it's just in a pause and or redirected. So pivot as best as you can. Sorry, I was trying to determine, I don't know if I was hearing road noise or a storm. Not sorry, but if my head snaps a little, it's because there's a lot of activity that kind of goes on. And like I say, there's huge storms coming around. We got a lot of road noise that goes by. We got trains, planes, automobiles. Feels like I'm in a weird 80s comedy. You know what? It does feel like I'm in a weird 80s comedy in my life and where I live right now. And I don't even know, like, life and truth is stranger. Like, fiction, it's stranger than fiction. So I've stopped questioning and asking. Chiron came out again, even though I reshuffled. So Chiron number 18:9, that is dark. How are you going in? How are you going in? How are you going into the inner chambers of your life in yourself, realizing you have the power, the light within your own hands to heal yourself? It has that very Hermeticism. You have the answers to your own solutions and your own problems. I'm being really chatty, so I'm really thirsty. Excuse me. Pardon. I should be out there weather divining today, and instead, I don't know. It's been, I've gone through a lot of really heavy stuff, and I should have rested more, and I tried to rest more, and I need to rest more, but it's, I don't know, I'm stuck in that weird limbo of, like, a lot of really heavy stuff culminated and wrapped up, and it's that, like, needing that rest after it happened, but also knowing that there's so much work to be done. So it's stuck in that like fight or flight, like I need rest, yet there's so much to be done. I don't know. And then it ends up just doing small steps on what I need to do. Anyway, so I say I need to be out weather divining, and I'll be like, oh no, I'm too tired, but I'll still end up out there in some form or capacity doing a weather divining today. Harpy, again, how do you use the chaos? How do you look from above and use the chaos to your advantage to get the assets, tools, goals, desires, dreams that you want? That's that dark energy. How do you use your dark energy to be able to get your deepest, darkest wants, needs, desires? Because it's in that darkness that you are your strongest. I really feel like a broken record, and maybe that's the whole point. You know what? We're gonna step into. I say, you know what? We're gonna step into the Divine Feminine Oracle. It is 333. 3 is always the number of communication. I love to think 333. That's like 9. We're getting communication about endings or culmination, chapter closings, stuff like that. And we put significance wherever we need to put it. So that's just me throwing out there any little knowledge that I have that may give you a different perspective that may help. I do want to talk about a writing experiment today, or writing homework assignment. So if you're having a really hard time and you need to get a lot of cluttered thoughts off your mind, you want to do a dump, like a journal dump. And you don't have to read it. You don't have to make sense. You don't have to make it make anything. You can burn it. You can throw it away. You can tuck it under your pillow. Whatever you want to do with it. But if you're having a hard time and you can't get your mind to focus, just take and sit for 5 minutes and just journal. Like, don't care if it makes sense. Don't care if anybody's going to read it. Don't care if anybody sees it. Like, don't care if anybody thinks it's dark. Just do it. Sit down and just dump, like, on journal. Because you would be amazed how much, like, all the ideas and matters that don't matter will like filter out of your thought pattern, and then you have clearer space and freer space to clear out. I talked about how I've been doing like a lot of heavy trauma releases, and this morning today I hit another heavy one, and I sat down and I did like I was intentional about it. So it was like the first one was what I don't like about me, my life, what's going on, anything. And it was allowed to be self-loathing. It was allowed to be. Like, it was a lot. It was 4+ decades of just everyone else's shackles I've carried around my neck. So just, it was actually, I think I did 8 minutes, not 5. But so that was like, clear out all of the ideas, all the pain, all the stuff that I've been carrying. And 8 minutes is a long time and not a long time. So I wrote that out and sat, and it was really hard. And then the next one I did was, what do I love about my life? What do I love about myself? What do I love about everything that's going on? And again, just taking a set amount of time and just trauma dumping. And probably 8 for me was because like, just 8, it gives you enough time to sit in it. And it's also like 8 being karma. So it's like, how are we releasing those cycles and patterns in our own karma? And then the third, I did do 3. Normally I wouldn't do that many. Normally I would just do 1. I would just do like a dump of info to just dump info. Today I did a third one. It's like, what do I want coming into my future? What do I want? If I envision the most beautiful, bold, big life, who is in it? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What am I driving? So that was like today. And I mean, some of the stuff that I released so much on the things I love. And that actually surprised me because I'm normally very self-deprecating. So to actually write things that I loved about myself. And it was just kind of like okay, girl, maybe you aren't as fucked up mentally as you think you are. Like, maybe you actually have healed because now you can admit that you love yourself, and you never could do that before. So it was very cathartic in releasing. It actually released some past life stuff too in that dump. So that was my homework assignment for today, and I gave it to my boyfriend as well. But like, this is kind of just what it looks like here, is just how do you, again, just take and just dump, and you can take and you can throw these away and you can do whatever, you can frame it. It don't matter. It's yours. You are the creator. So start acting like it. Start creating your own life. Start making your happiness. Let go, filter out the ideas and the crap that isn't yours so that you can actually build with what you want. Okay. Yeah. That was, remember how I said, like, I get homework too. I have homework too. The universe don't spare me just because, you know, I got, like, I learn or do education. No, like, because I learn and do education, like, I probably have bigger homework, and then I come and give you guys, like, the information I learned, which is, anyway. All right. Speaking of sharing information, knowledge is love. Love is currency. Currency is money. Money makes the world go round. Should you wish, you can tip here. You can also go to SirenSong Lover on Cash App. Capital S for Siren, capital S for Song, capital L for Lover. Sewing into my ministry is always appreciated. I'm a broke ass bitch. I want to be able to do way cooler things than this. I know I'm eating. I need a little bit of nuts in my mouth, so such a loaded statement to keep going. Cottage Country, do you want to ask any questions today, my love? Or how's your situation cooking out? Do you just need guidance? The card that's on the bottom here, I'm just going to show it while you're thinking, or if you just want guidance. I know I'm going to say the first part wrong. The Vajra Yogini. All right, please be safe. In the essence of all Buddhas, I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. Okay. Cottage Country. What do we need to know? Actually, I'm going to pull a few. I'm going to pull some more, I'm going to pull some more cards up, but the Angel Answers deck kept calling me for you for this, and I have two other ones, but the one card flew out. So I'm just gonna read that out and let you sit with that while I unbox more cards here. The card was yes. So I can't tell you what that is, but whatever question you have that's going on in your heart that you know is a yes, it's yes. Because that box was pulling me, that part of the card jumped out, it's yes. So whatever you've been mulling on, yes. I'm going to go into different areas, but I love that one just jumped out, and I'm like, oh, okay, and it was calling, so we'll answer that one. Okay. The situation will improve with time or with clarity, with Hanged Man.
the situation will improve. So everything that you've been scared and hanging on about, it's not critical. Give it a little bit of time. Okay? Sometimes, like humans, we react really fast. We react really visceral. Sometimes we need to like let the situation calm down. So have patience. I feel very temperance energy. Like have that patience. Know that it needs balance. Sometimes it will improve, but you need to communicate clearly what you want. If you are asking for something, you need to communicate clearly what you want. So whatever your heart is feeling, it's a yes. The situation with the ex-girlfriend will be improving. Like in either way, one way or the other, whether you stay together or separate, it will improve. The universe will keep sending you the lesson until you become a master at it. So that way when you get someone that you love, communication will not be a problem. I'm not, like, that's not, like, trying to be hardcore, like, meh. But, like, if you're horrible at communication but you want a divine love, you are going to have to know how to communicate inside and out with that person. And that sounds maybe cliche, or I'll get into that in a second because this is a beautiful topic to talk on. Communicate clearly. And I'll tell you why. So I have a huge mouth. I talk a lot. I've also been in situations with people that I need them, for everyone's safety, to be critically tuned into this situation. So if you are in a situation where it's critical that that other person knows what's going on, what needs to happen, what's expected of them, what XYZ, you have to communicate that clearly. Because otherwise you'll miss out on the opportunity. And the more we open up and communicate clearly, the more people typically are like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing, or why didn't you tell me? But when I say like communication, so I talk about telepathy. So my current boyfriend, we haven't been together very long, but we have a lot of times like this bond where even if we're silent, it's like we can communicate energetically. It's like we've been in intense situations where we needed to not verbally communicate, and between he and I, we were able to communicate through nonverbal gestures, motions, and that was also like we knew that when we came out of there that we would communicate. So communication, like you really, if you're going to be with someone intimately, you have to learn how to communicate, even in the nonverbal ways, even in the energetic ways. Like you have to learn to communicate clearly if you want to have that divine relationship, because between like those strong bonds, there can't be miscommunication, because otherwise there's no bond. So people want to say, oh, I don't know how to express myself, or I don't know how to say something. Well, are you going to let that be what makes you lose like the most beautiful love partner of your life because you're a bad communicator? I'm awful about communication too. I'm trying to figure out how to say that because I've been dealing with tricky partners. So it's like, am I awful at communication, or am I dealing with people that are intentionally trying to be jerks and intentionally trying to miscommunicate? That was part of it too, is using that discernment, is that like, am I miscommunicating, or am I around people that are intentionally trying to have me be misunderstood? Because when you start realizing that, the game changes. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah. Okay, so it's basically like, it's if the person that you're with or around, if you love them and you feel that it's worth it, you're going to figure it out with them. Like, I know that sounds such whatever. Like, if you truly love and that's your person and you want to be with them, you will figure out hell or high water how you're going to do communication. But that requires on your part being willing to say, like, not just be like, oh, I suck at communication and I don't need to roll my eyes, because I do too. Like, you really need to be like, I know that this is important, or I know that this is important to my partner. I am going to intentionally be good at that.
So if you, I mean, I'm one of those, I over communicate shit. So, and with a lot of it, it's like, if I'm with a partner, there's nothing I'm not going to tell you if I truly love you. So we're going to figure it out together. And if we can't figure it out together, or you don't want to help me, then you're not worthy of being my partner. Because I'm pretty fucking cool. You know, it's like, if someone loves you enough, or if you love that person enough, you will figure out how to communicate through it, even if it hurts like hell. Maybe not. I don't know. Keep working on it, baby. I guess that's the message. And I'm awful at communication. I need to keep working on it too. This is a reminder to me, like, how do I figure it out? I guess I was trying to speak on the experience part where we had silence to be like, realizing that when it's necessary, or ways to communicate. If you're with someone and it's important, you'll figure it out and you'll know. And if you're with someone that doesn't feel it's important, then you won't, and that's good. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition. Listen to what your own source is trying to tell you. These other two cards came out, and I'm not going to try and expand upon it because that part of this message may not be for this, is no. So whoever this message is for, whether it be you or who, if the message fits, let it sit. If it don't apply, let it fly. So no, listen to your intuition, and whatever you're thinking may come forth is highly unlikely. Sometimes the messages go wonky, but then it really is for someone, and it'll be like, how did you say it just like that? I'll be like, I don't even know. So even when I don't understand, I deliver, or I get it out. So I don't know. Feeling very snacky today. Although this is the first thing I've eaten all day. Peanut toffee. Or toffee peanut. So I say I'm snacky. It's not really that I'm snacky. I probably just need to really eat. And fill my water. I'm upset. My drink's gone. My water's almost gone. I don't know. Not upset. I need to fill my own cup. The more I speak about filling my own cup and drinking water, the more I need to realize I need to do it too. I am not exempt. Okay. Alright. I'm kind of back. Kind of not. Yeah. I'm like, if you want to hang out, I'm not really going anywhere. I was going to do some more reading. I just need to get up and walk around for a minute because I have the ADHD. So my attention span is all of 3 seconds. I feel like 50 first dates with a 10-second Tom. Where he's like, hi, I'm Tom. Tells you the whole, hi, I'm Tom. Like, ADHD in adults is no freaking joke. And to actually get me to sit down and hang out is hard to do. He is a legend. And you're like, yeah. It's hard though when you, like I say, you have ADHD and you're like, I'm trying to be the best version that I can be, but my brain's wired different than everybody else. And we have to start realizing that even though our brain's not like everybody else's, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. We're meant to be different. You aren't weird. Your brain's wired different. And that's actually your superpower. Like, our spiciness is our evolutionary superpower. Our sensitivities are our evolutionary superpowers. Our allergies are our superpowers. Hello. How are you? You may have a reading if you want to go ahead and... I do have just a little bit more to wrap up for my love, Cottage Country. Well, okay, so it is a superpower because our body is trying to say, hey, something in our environment isn't making us happy, and if you stay here, it's going to kill you. So your allergies are really trying to say, like, if you stay here, it's bad for you and it's toxic. So it's a superpower. It's our intuition telling us, like, hey, we don't like this environment. I have such a weird little vibe. Anyway, okay, cottage country, my love. I'm gonna pull out just a few more cards for you now that I've gotten a little less. No, I want to say I'm less. Okay, well, how long do you have to debate? Hazy herblet. Okay, so peanut allergies, yes, because our environment is toxic. Like, I look at all of when I was a kid and we didn't have hardly any other allergies, and now we have such prolific allergies, and it's because our environment, it's like what they spray our stuff with. Like, I love that you like what I came to say. I'm kind of a cool chick sometimes. So yeah, like, we live in such a toxic environment. That's why we're allergic to everything. That's why our skin's so sensitive to everything. Our body's saying, like, hey, there's too many pesticides, there's too many metals, there's too much. There's too much. Your body can't take it, the overload. Okay, cottage country. Yep. It's all the allergies. Yes. Okay, so the homework, my love, cottage country. I'm going to give that when you're ready. Get a pen and paper. I'm going to shuffle a few more cards. Hazy herblet, I will be with you, my love. But you're going to get me on a little rant, but let me take care of my love here. Cottage country, you want to get your pen and paper? We'll write it out. And then, whew, yeah. Ooh. Okay. So much. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to do all of it. Whatever everybody got. Language, I don't care. All right. Okay. 8 of Wands, Justice, Strength. Ace of Swords, 6 Pentacles, 8 Cups, Star. Jesus Christ. Cottage country. There's so many cards flew out, so I'm gonna get to that. Let me give you your homework. Okay. We're going to do a trauma journal dump, right? And do not forget about Ho'oponopono. Do not forget to remind yourself that you love you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Don't forget about that. That's important. We just add tools. Imagine like you're playing video games. When you say in a level, when you end, you don't end. You still have all those tools, that knowledge of how to keep progressing and keep going. You just hit like a reset. So when you're given lessons and things in life, it's like you're given additional tools, I guess. So please don't forget about Ho'oponopono. Don't forget to love and forgive yourself. So the homework is you're going to do 5 minutes at least of just trauma journal dumping. So 3 5-minute journalings if you can. You're going to write down like the first one, and I just did it topic by topic, but this was my homework today and it was very cathartic. The first 5-minute journal dump, and you don't worry about reading it, you don't worry about how it feels, none of that. Don't be just journal. 5 minutes, set a timer, set music if you have to. Write all the things that I started this way, all the things I did not like about what was going on in my life, right? All those things, just dump it out. All the things I didn't like. Boom. Sat for a minute. The next 5-minute journal, and it could take you literally 15 minutes, or it could take you all day, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how long it takes you. Doesn't matter how easy or hard it is. It's your assignment, okay? Just know you're going to show up and you're going to get a gold star, because you do. You show up, every time you show up, you get a gold star. So kudos to you, my love. So the next 5 minutes is all the things you love about yourself, about life, about what's in your environment, who you are, everything. That's your next 5-minute dump. The third 5-minute dump is, what do you want going forward in your future? What do you want your dream life to look like? Regardless, like, it may not be with your ex-girlfriend, but like, What do you want your future partner? And oh, you missed this one yesterday. What do you want your future partner? Like, what do you want that to look like? What do you want your Sunday to look like with your future partner? Like on Sunday mornings, are you, you know what? I did have this happen one morning. I had a Sunday morning. It was like, we just had breakfast. We had a little bit of green. We had a little bit of other stuff in the bed on Sunday morning, which was never my reality before. But I was like, yeah, this is what I fought so hard, was to have Sunday, was to be able to be in my bed, partaking in whatever I wanted to do, with whoever I wanted to do on Sunday morning. So build your dream life. That third list is, how do you build that dream life? So 3 5-minute journals. Things you don't like is number 1, because you want to clear out. Number 2, things that you like, that you want to embody and keep more of. Number 3, what you want going forward. What do you want more of? Because once you start saying, man, I'm like, number 2 really is to say, like, I am so grateful for all of this, because when you say I'm grateful, the universe will give you more. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, 8 of Wands. There is communication coming in rapidly. There is justice coming. So whatever's been going on, there's communication coming in, there's justice. Those scales are being balanced. It is going to bring forward logic. So whatever it is, it's going to be brutal though. Like, it's going to be swift. It's going to be, right? You're going to have strength. Great strength. So great Leo energy, great strength. This also though, okay. I'm trying to figure out how I want to read this out. Because Ace of Wands, so you're getting Ace of Swords, that's logic. Ace of Wands, this is bringing in passion. You're balancing out. 2 of Wands, this is balancing out our passions, our coins, our pentacles. How are you doing it? So this comes after 7 of Pentacles. You've been sowing those seeds, right? You've been sowing your seeds. You've been putting those pentacles in the ground. You need to go back and look at what worked for you. The 6 of Pentacles is that balance. Like, what you have to review. What worked for you? What did not work for you? What's going to work further? Like, going forward further. So this, and I speak on it with you. How do you sometimes go within to figure out what you need in your external world? So then it's like your finances have been out of balance. You need to get your passions in balance. Hello, my love. Page of Pentacles, this is, you have those pentacles, you're growing those pentacles, but it's slow, it's steady, it's still not quite there. 3 of Cups, if you're willing to sit and do the work, you grow. I know, slow and steady, my love. You're not bad with money, you just need to rewire your brain about how you think of it. Right? I'm not bad with money, I just need to rewire how I think about it. Okay? 3 of Cups, how are you celebrating? How are you celebrating? When you start looking at like what you did in the past, how you handled money in the past, how do you start celebrating? Okay. You're working on it, and that's all that matters. Once you know that there's a problem, identifying the problem is half the battle. Because then once you know there's a problem, then you can figure out how to fix it. So celebrate the gains that you've had. Celebrate the happiness that you found. That celebration of, yes, I've been building my money and it's slow and steady, but it's coming. This is King of Wands, embodying that passionate wand, fiery energy, sitting in your Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Aries is very much Emperor. So that King of Wands, that's take charge of your life. March forward. And then the Star, this is sitting in your beautiful embodiment of your highest power. Okay. Cottage country. You're not bad with money. You just have doubts and fears around it. So how do you start releasing your doubts and your fears around it? Because doubts and fears create blockages, right? Be like, oh, we didn't have money for Christmas, so now I XYZ. Well, now you're at a different stage, and you either A, don't have to participate in Christmas because you don't, or B, you can do something different. So it's how do you start realizing that you don't have to be that person that you were in the past? Yeah. Just because you were bad at it before don't mean you have to be bad at it forever. You can learn, evolve, and grow. So hopefully that answered questions. Do you have any other questions? Do you have any other comments? If you want to sew into my ministry, you can tip here or Cash App, capital S for Siren, capital S for Song, capital L for Lover. If you ever want to do one-on-one, you can contact me, email me, SirenSongLover@yahoo.com. Okay, sorry, I don't know why. Like, it sounded like Badger whining, and I don't see him. I don't know where. It's like I wanted to get paid, and then it sounds like my dog's whining. Anyway, okay. Sorry. SirenSongLover@yahoo.com. SirenSongLover, IN. Yeah. If you like my vibe, you want to join my tribe, please hit subscribe. If you want to sign my ministry, it's always appreciated. This stuff is expensive. And I know, like, knowledge is free, yet it's very expensive. Like, the cost of knowledge will literally make you lose everything sometimes. So what I do needs some loving. Ace of Pentacles, financial abundance. How are you bringing in those financial abundance and nest eggs? Maybe that's the trick with me too. I didn't open my mouth to say I wanted money from people. So now I have to start doing that. Like, if you want your Ace of Pentacles, you have to start asking for it. You have to start knowing it. You have to start wanting it. You have to start claiming your worth. So start asking for your pentacles. Don't ever say you're bad with money again. Start asking for the money that you need, want, and desire. And if you say, I don't deserve it, no, that's bullshit. You have wants, needs, desires to be able to achieve your goals. If you want, need, desire money, you deserve it. Go get it. Go ask for it. Go work for it. Do whatever you have to do. All right. All right. I am Lara Jo, SirenSong Lover. Should you wish to ask any more questions, should you wish to give any feedback, please do so. Should you want to know anything about spirituality? Should you have any burning desires? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Ooh. All right. Justice and Ace of Swords. So the scales are balancing in your favor. And Ace of Swords is going to bring in logical decisions. Whatever has been weighing you down, whatever has been working against you, it can no longer work. Judgment's been called and logic will prevail. Page of Cups. This could be dealing with an immature feminine Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, like that petulant, like, cause she's got a fish in her cup. Like, she's out here playing games. No, you don't have time to play with people that are taking from you and taking from what you're doing. So 5 of Swords, leave behind those betrayals, those heartbreaks. Anybody that's left you out in the cold, stuck a sword in your back, leave them behind. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter how old they are. If they're being immature and playing in emotions. This is just kind of general in it all. So Hazy Herblet, if this identifies with you, please take some messages. If you're ready for me to get into your message, we sure can. 5 of Swords speaks to betrayals, stabbing in the back. If you're in my collective, this probably resonates in a lot of ways for you, but we can get into it specific. If you're ready, let me know. I didn't know if you were still in there. It's hard to tell sometimes who's still in and who's not. And yeah. So, 5 of Swords. How are those betrayals? How are you letting them go? Start using logic, discernment. Hazy Herblet, what do you need to know about my love? Do you want to ask? Hi, Zari. You came back, my love. The cat came back the very next day. All right, what do you want to know? Are you picking up messages from this, or do you want to ask something specific? Are you like the vein I'm in? Does it feel right? Yeah? Yeah. Let's see. What does Hazy Herblet need to know? My weird little spicy ticks. My auditory stems. Okay. Okay, so this actually, Hazy Herblet, whatever the message kind of was for Cottage Country, it's like a parallel message, because whatever the vibe is, like that Six of Pentacles, balancing, looking at the past, balancing to get your money right. Ace of Wands will bring in your passions. When you get your money right, when you look at how you've had those limiting patterns before about money, it blocks your money. It allows people to betray you and put stabs in the back. So start looking at your pentacles. Start looking at those ideas that you've had that didn't work, and it'll start bringing in your passions. Like, get your money right, you get your passions right. Death came out right under that. So it's that, and don't look at this card and get scared. This is just meaning endings, cycles, startings, beginnings, endings, rebirths. Like, death is Scorpio. It's heavy platonic, like Pluto. Platonic. Because it's so far away, it's not relevant romantically. Huh. So true for Scorpios. Okay. Side note. Death, rebirth. How are you transforming your life? How are you letting go of those limiting patterns that didn't fit you anymore? And then Eight of Wands. It'll bring in that rapid communication, like coming in at you. So when you are ready to let go of the patterns of betrayals, cycles of heartache, poverty, the messages that you need will come in. And unfortunately, the way that like Source works, and this works all the time, you'll go months without messages or downloads from Source, and then all of a sudden in 3 minutes you'll get like a whole tap of months of downloads, and you'll just be like you got doused with a bucket of water. So yeah, okay, all right. Eight of Wands, you'll be getting messages. They'll be coming in fast. This is Knight of Swords, coming in rapidly with that logic, that decision, using any sword to cut out things that are not in your highest good and interest. The Hanged Man, change the perspective. Be willing to change the perspective. The Hanged Man, heavy Piscean energy, and that's how are you keeping yourself held in that position? Because the Hanged Man is, you are within this position yourself. You can get out of it at any time. All you must do is be brave enough to get yourself out. The Hanged Man, like, you can say like, oh, I'm stuck in a tree upside down. Are you though? Because you can untie your hands, and then you can reach up and untie your feet. You just have to be willing and brave enough to test it. At any point in life, like if you're in a bad situation, you have to be willing in life to say, you know what, I no longer want this, and then start getting out of it. How do you change your perspective? How do you take the incoming communication and utilize it for your best good? I'm going to ask on that. Okay. How is it related? When there's betrayals and like disharmony in your love life, your money ain't going to be right. Love is the same vibration as money. So if your love life is blocked, your money's blocked. So if you're with him and all you have is financial blocks, yeah, I probably wouldn't be with him. Because if he's not helping you reach your highest goals, why do you want to take him along? Like, if you don't want to see you be the CEO of your own company, like, why would you want him in the driver's seat of your car taking you to work?
Some people will just take down the whole boat because they can't be the captain. And who's fun like that? Who wants like that? So change your perspective. You know, I mean, if you want to break up with someone, that's your own decision. I will say I've watched too many relationships right now where it's like people hold on, or it's like, yeah, if they're drowning you, don't keep holding on to them. If they're hurting you, if they're causing betrayals, heartbreaks, any of that, let it go. Let go. Choose you. You deserve to choose you. You deserve to choose your happiness. Put yourself first. So if you're with this person and you're like, hell yeah, he makes me happy, keep going. But if being with them makes you feel ill, or it makes your money go sour, or it makes people, like, relationships with other people bad, why would you want to be with them? You deserve so much better than someone that makes you unhappy, or feel betrayed, or messes up your money. Well, you have to decide what the winning vote is. And sometimes it's not like, okay, I love to say this because we are all as a collective growing and changing. And the challenge is that when you're with when you're with people, if you're with people and you're healing, whoever is connected to you will heal as well. Not because they want to, but it's like if you're healing your vibration naturally, as you rise, you bring them with you. So you have to figure out which is the stronger. Do they make you absolutely happy, or they make you absolutely miserable? I love that you're feeling refreshed. That's amazing. And it may be like you may not be able to be with him now, because maybe you both have growing and learning and stuff to learn, but it may be, yes, you love them and that bond is there, but we can't be together now. We both have to go and do our own work. So if it doesn't feel right, be willing to walk away and do the work on yourself to make yourself your best version, because once you heal, you may find out that you have a different partner because that person is a better match for you and makes you happier. So ultimately, at the end of the day, my love, I can't tell you what to do. You have to feel that in your own body, what's right for you. I'm going to tell you this. I cried really long time. I was stuck on stupid for someone for a really long time, and I wish I had moved on sooner. Because when everything came said and done, I cried and held on for so long. And then once I finally moved on, I was like, why did I wait so long? Like, this dude over here asked what I needed of him, and it didn't take him years. It took him an hour. And he comes with better equipment. So sometimes it's like, yeah, you can hang on, but I'm going to tell you, when you let go and you're willing to put yourself first, this is such a powerful lesson, and I just learned it. And I've been through the ringer, and that's something we can talk about. But I finally let go. It's like, why are you going to keep hugging a cactus if you know it's poisoning you every time you hug it? Yeah. No, if he can't take responsibility, he can't be a part of your life. Because you can't keep paying the debts for him when he's creating them. Because you're always going to pay his debts. So don't. Okay. You have to do what you have to do. I'm going to tell you, there's a great peace when you finally say, you know what, that's your problem. I'm not taking it. I'm going to go stay over here and keep myself safe until we can better work together. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if it makes you miserable, don't do it. You just have to, baby. You have to. I've gone through that too. And I still go through it daily. Okay, I go through it freaking daily. Like, when I talk about I know from experience the difference between twin flames, soulmates, NPCs, and various. Like, I can speak on the difference with twin flames because I felt that bond. Yes. And my counter has a lot of Scorpio. So, They're tricky. Those NPCs are tricky. They turn really fast though. Like when you hit the button that you realize most people will never feel twin flame. And I'm going to tell you, twin flame is that's not comfortable. That, like, twin flame is excruciating. Yeah. Except for the thing with twin flame, you will also know when someone isn't your true. Like, you will start learning, like, the uncanny valley effect. So when someone's an NPC or if someone's not your twin flame, it's like you feel that uncanny valley effect. It's like they seem normal, but something's not quite right. Yeah, so karma, it's like, how do you close out those chapters, those past lives? So that's how you actually, that is a beautiful lesson right here. So if you think he's karmic, and he probably is, and a lot of times even our twin flames can be karmic, right? It's how do you close out the chapters and lessons so that you never repeat it again, not in this lifetime or not in any other lifetime. And the beauty is once you close out that karmic chapter, and I can speak to that because I had a karmic soulmate that became like a surprise player, and that's complex, and I found that out totally by accident. There's so much there to unpack. Anyway, once you unpack that, you will never have to repeat that karmic lesson ever. And once you heal it for this lifetime, you heal it for the past lifetimes too. So you heal it both forward and backward. Be brave enough to let go. Be brave enough to heal it, because once you do it, you put it to bed, you never do it again, and then you can help other people heal it. So do it. Yeah, you know what? You know what though? Okay. Okay. You know what? My love. You are awesome. And you know what you need to do? He don't need to realize it. You need to. Look in that mirror. Okay. Hazy Herblet, I am going to run to the restroom. I want you to give me like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, give or take. I have a homework assignment for you. A really hard one. Okay? I love giving homework assignments. I'm sure you heard I do my own homework assignments. I give them all the time. I do them myself. And I'm going to give you some. In Cottage Country and Zyara can talk about, like, I gave a really hard one the other day. So, we'll get to it. Give me a minute. I gotta reset a little bit, get some drinks. Yeah. Empty the tank. Give me a minute. Get pen and paper, please. Anybody that wants to take any messages, anybody that wants to take any notes on homework assignments, you can say, yeah, I don't want to do homework. I'm an adult. But the more you're willing to do homework, the more you're willing to heal and grow, even when it hurts and it's uncomfortable and nobody wants to, the faster you get out of here. Like, my path hasn't been easy. It's been a really fast ascension, but it's a really fast ascension. Why do I keep saying ascension? I'll have to think on that while I go do that for a second. It's been a really fast ascension because anytime I get a homework assignment or anytime, like, I'm given a mission or I'm given something hard, I sit down and I work on it. Like, I've done a lot of emotion code work, and I don't know if you've ever heard of emotion code, but the woman that I was working with, she's like, you're doing things that other, like, practitioners are unable to do in your healing progress. And it was like, yeah, because I don't just, like, go through emotion code and just deal with that. It's like, as I'm going through emotion code with my process, I'm also over here doing Reiki, I'm doing sun therapy, I'm doing somatic healing. How am I dropping into my body and processing those hard emotions so I let them go and I don't ever carry them again? So while stuff's really hard and you can cuss, you can scream, you can cry, you can say I'm worth it, you better say you're worth it. You better look in that mirror and you better say you're worth it, right? So I don't care if you cuss, I don't care if you scream, I don't care if you cry, you keep going. And if you don't feel strong enough, you can text me, call me, email me, and we'll talk about it. But don't ever give up on yourself. It don't matter if they don't see your worth, you see your worth. And once you learn your worth, you're never going to forget it, and you're never going to let some dude give you the bare minimum. I promise. Be like, no. Okay. Soapbox off. Gotta run for a second. Give me a moment. I'm going to turn my camera off for just a minute so you don't hear any weirdness, because, you know. Give me a minute.
Okay. I'm kind of back. We may actually migrate outside. Because I'm kind of feeling that. We'll see. So it may take a minute. All right. Hazy Herblette, do you have pen and paper? Are you ready, my love? And we may end up migrating outside because, yeah, I don't know how long I'll actually be out there. Maybe I'll just bring, what do I want? I have to figure out what I want so I can tell other people, right? I pull a card out. Ooh! Okay, Two of Swords. You're in a stalemate with a fire sign, King of Wands, or fire placements, and Aquarius, the Star, and Two Cups. Love embodiment is there. You just have to be willing to agree. Okay. Which one? Okay. So that wanting other people to love us, that's because obviously we want other people to love us, right? But it's like we try to make other people feel so seen because we want to be seen. So see yourself. Love yourself. I know that sounds so simple, and yet, is it though? Like, sit with yourself. So don't, Hazy Herblette, you are the creator of your own universe. Do not ever give your power over to someone else, right? So, I want you to write a letter to your inner child and let it all out. Talk about all the things that happened when you were a baby, all the things that happened to you when you were a kid, all the things that you've just been carrying around on your heart, to all the caregivers that never gave you the love, the protection, the provision, the leadership, the whatever you didn't get, right? It wasn't right that you didn't get it. You were a little kid. You deserved to be protected and loved and taken care of, but it wasn't, your caretakers weren't capable. It wasn't that they didn't want to, they physically were not capable. Forgive them. Write a letter to that little baby. Write everything out. Let it all out. And then, when you're ready, I want you to switch to your non-dominant hand, and your inner child's going to write you a letter back. And when I did it, my inner child wrote back, it was because I'm a right-hander, and then I switched to my left, and I only got one sentence out. And it was, why didn't you fight harder to protect me? So it was realizing for that little girl, like, why didn't you fight harder to protect me? Like, why didn't you fight harder to appreciate you or to protect you? And obviously you can't do that as a little kid. You can now, though. So once you've let it all out on a paper, like I say, switch hands. Because what it does is it switches your brain. It really does switch you into, like, that younger version or into, like, a different side of your brain. And you'll write back, and it's challenging to do. Like, it's uncomfortable. It's physically uncomfortable. And it doesn't always make sense. And you can't read it and whatever yet. Your soul will leave that catharsis there. So be willing to do it. And then you can burn it, you can shred it, you can throw it away, you can keep it, you can cry on it. It doesn't matter what you do with it. Just let it out. You are worthy, my love. You have made it through 100% of your hardest days without whoever you want to pay attention to. You've made it. You've protected yourself 100% of the hardest days by yourself. Give yourself freaking props. The days that you didn't want to make it, the days that you didn't think you were going to make it, the days that you thought were too hard, the days that was too painful, you did it. So why are you letting some dude that probably has a whack dick, I know that's personal, but some dude with a whack dick, like, make you cry? Like, you are badass. Don't let other people drag you to their level in hell. Like, when you look at other people, it's like they never take accountability for their bad stuff. Like, they want everybody else to be accountable for their stuff. Like, no. No. You deserve more than that. You deserve someone that never wants to ever see you hurt in any way, shape, or form, and realizes that that's precious. So don't settle for less than that. Okay. Did the homework assignment make sense? And it's simple, not easy. Because we have to remember that we need love at such a fundamental age. Like, we were all lost. We were all broken. We were all hurt. It's a very hard assignment. I know. It sounds really easy, but it's like shards of fiberglass ripping through you when you write it. You're like, oh man, that's an angry voice in there that's been waiting to be heard. You'll start realizing that you will start getting mad and you won't let people treat you any less than you deserve. Because your inner kid is going to be like, yeah, no, fuck that guy. Like, if I wouldn't... Here's the thing. Kids are really easy. They don't hate people, like, kids truly don't hate people based on the color of their skin. It's like, hey, that person don't play nice. I just don't play with them. So I've started looking at people like, if I just don't like you and I want to play with you, like, you're not a good friend, I don't want to have you in my life. I had a situation with my lawyer and he'd said something like, I'm not your enemy. And I'm like, you're not my ally and you're definitely not a friend. Or if you're a friend, you're not a good friend. So when you start looking at the people in your life, if your inner child wouldn't feel safe or don't want to play with that person, don't do as an adult. That really is that simple, I guess. Like, if your inner kid doesn't like that other person because their inner kid's a jerk, don't play with them. Anyway, okay. I'm probably going to hop out pretty soon. I am Larry Joe, SirenSong lover. Just doing an energy clear for the collective. I put these cards back in, and then Page of Pentacles, like, how are you growing those finances? How are you building? The Magician. Use all of the tools in your life. Become the alchemist of your own life. Seven of Cups. You have so many choices and options. Should you be willing to look at all of them? The thing with Seven of Cups, not every cup has a beautiful option in it. So Seven of Cups is deception, betrayals. Salt and sugar look the same, yet they both can hurt you. So when you're looking at all of the options, make sure that you are treating and choosing the option that isn't going to hurt you. Make sure that it's filling your cup and not, like, taking away from your cup. All right, I love it. I love it. I don't know too, like, okay, so Twitch is new to me. So when people, like, the first time I got raided, I had no idea what it was, and my boyfriend had just shown up at the time and I got raided and I was like, I don't know what just happened. I just disconnected. I'm all over with streaming, but I'm starting to pick up, like, in the last few days I've been doing a few regular back-to-back, but mostly, like, in the evening or afternoon, kind of early afternoon time. So, it's hit or miss. I'm working on my presence of showing up more, but yeah, like I say, being new to Twitch, and when I first got a raid and I had no idea what was happening and I freaked out, and my boyfriend had a little more knowledge on Twitch and he's like, no, that's a good thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, get back on. I was like, I lost it. I didn't know what was happening. Help. So that's, yeah. Anywho. Life is funny. If you had told me 3 years ago that I would be doing this today, I would have not believed you at all. And yet, I was, okay, let's actually back up for a second. It's like when I started on this journey, I had no idea what would happen. And it's been such a walk of by faith and not by sight. And I've been saying to my boyfriend recently, it's like when I look back and I go, I don't know what made me think to do any of this, or none of it made sense. I just knew that, again, I had higher Lyra on my back, on my shoulders, saying keep going. And like starting my own business and never having owned a business, not having any idea, having moved to a new town, having no contacts, living in the Bible Belt and learning that you're spiritual is a Dickens because they don't really like you. They try to run you out of town. Like, they already tried to run me out of town because I'm all tattooed and I don't look like the normal Susie Homemaker. But when you realize that you're spiritual living in the Bible Belt and you never knew that about yourself and then you move there, it's traumatic. I know I was sent to where I am. Like, I know I'm here in this position to be able to do great works in a very short amount of time, yet it's so freaking painful and it don't make sense. Like, part of it also, like my mission, a lot of it, I have a lot of people that want to know about what I'm doing, so Spirit will intentionally keep me in the dark so they don't know. So a lot of my mission, again, has been not knowing what the hell to do or where I'm going or what's going on or if I'm going to fail or succeed. Like, I guess when I started this business, I had no doubt in my mind that that's what I was supposed to be doing and that I was going to succeed. Even though I had no idea, no groundwork, no whatever. And it's been hard as hell and the growing pains. And like yesterday, I didn't eat until 2 a.m. And that was, I was sitting on my kitchen floor with my coworkers, which are my cats, because they're my ancestors, they're guides, and they're imperative in healing. But like, I didn't eat yesterday until 2 a.m. Was sitting on the kitchen floor with the cats. So it's like, it don't make sense. And yet, when you're like divinely guided, that path will just keep pushing you and keep opening. And God, I don't even know how many times I've asked, like, am I losing my mind? Am I crazy? And yet, it's the only thing that makes sense. So it's been such a weird progress and journey. So I don't even know. And hopefully all of that makes sense. It's like, I wouldn't have talked about God 4 years ago, or spirituality, or source, or universe, or goddesses, or any of that. It's complicated. Like, eating is complicated too. Like, most food makes me really sick, and again, that's because we live in very toxic environments. Stress has been a mother. It's also when we are carbonly dense, it is because we are karmically. I said it, I was meaning to say it. When we are carbonly dense, it's because we're karmically dense. So a lot of these people with obesity, it's like we have obesity and we have weight problems because we have that pattern, like that hole we need to fill within our body. So a lot of this journey, I've lost over 80 pounds, and I actually was going to bring up pictures of that. I've lost over 80 pounds on this progress and this journey in a very short amount of time. And it's because my body made me sick. It was like I could no longer eat and hang around the people that I wanted to, so my body said, yeah, no. Also, like, my stomach, I had a lot of GI issues, and our GI is our second brain. So when we're depressed, when we're stressed, when we're everything, it's our stomach first. So part of this has been, I'm trying to eat more. I am trying to eat more, but yesterday it was one of those, it's like, I kept going and kept creating and kept moving until I couldn't anymore. And it was 2 a.m. I try not to make it that late anymore, ever, but it does happen. Obviously, because it happened yesterday. Of course, I wasn't going to bed till like 4 a.m. either. Anyway, I'm going to show a picture of just on my other... Actually, I wonder if there's a way... No, hold on. Okay, let me go back, and I'm just going to show a picture of like when we first moved here and when this journey first started
to show, because again, the journey hasn't made sense. What my body did, everything hasn't made sense, and yet it's like I've been pushed that way intuitively. I don't know. Okay. So you see here today, yeah, this was 2021, May of 2021, when we first moved here. So I was stuck on stupid. Yeah, I lost all that weight because karmically, like, I stopped hanging around the people that made me want to binge eat. I stopped drinking. Like, okay, so my ex and I were daily drinkers. I will show you the day. And I had said, I'm a huge manifester too, right? So I'll show you just kind of some progress pictures as we go through. That was 2021, summer of 2021, when all this started. This is summer of 2022. That's, again, still deep in addiction. In the summer of 2021, like, I was in so much physical pain and my depression. It was like I was drinking, I was smoking, I was taking, like, I was doing anything to not ever wake up again. Because I knew that if I stayed with that man, I didn't know it because, like, I loved him and I was so happy and XYZ, right? That was like the conditioning that I had told myself. But if I had stayed, I was either going to I was going to drink myself to death, depression would take over, or my liver was going, like, I would have had cancer. So I hit, like, the ground, I hit my knees. And again, I thought I loved him so, I mean, he train wrecked my whole life. So I ate myself to death 3 years ago, pretty well. So that was, like I say, that was 2021. This was 2022. This is deep in my healing progress. This is doing Reiki, sound therapy, tarot, learning divination, emotion code. This is releasing all of that stuck trauma trapped within my body, because we eat, like, sugary stuff because it gives us that high, that feel good, that dopamine. So it's like when you realize you're in a spiral, like a mental spiral, it's like, instead of going to eat that tub of ice cream, can we eat some peanuts, or can we go for a walk, or can we go journal? Instead of binge eating, it's how can we create better habits for ourselves and prove that we love ourselves more than anyone else loves us. So, okay, to keep going, I had said that the day, so I'm a huge manifester. I had said that the day my divorce became final, I was going to buy a lottery ticket, because I know that universe, it isn't punishment, but universe will protect you by not allowing other people to touch your blessings. So if someone's in your life that, if you got a really big inheritance and someone is in your life that would take it from you, and that inheritance was meant to create a bigger thing, the universe won't let you touch that inheritance until that person's out of your life. So again, if your blessings are being blocked, it's probably the people in your life, because universe has seen and heard things that you haven't seen or heard. So the day my divorce became final, and I was starting to slowly quit drinking by this point, but I went cold turkey. So the day my divorce became final was the last day I drank, and this was 2023, beginning of 2023. So this was the last day I drank. It was the day my divorce became final, because I no longer needed to drink to be able to hang around with the people that I had to hang around with to make life happen. It was like I no longer had to drink to be able to have a life to live in, because my ex-husband and I were done, and he was the biggest source of the drinking, and he was the biggest source of why I was drinking. So I mean, I was still looking pretty good. I feel at this point I was still doing a lot of hard work, but yet I was still drinking. So again, this was the last day I had a drink.
And that was February 2023. That was the day my divorce became final. And then within 3 months of quitting drinking. Okay, I'm gonna pause for that for a moment. I've drank since the age of 13. And to go back to all my family history stuff, like, my family encouraged drinking and they used that for abuse. So, like, drinking was normalized. Within quitting drinking, and like I said, we drank daily, we drank really heavily, it was a problem. Like, my ex would have to fill a travel mug with margarita before we would go to school performances. And he would drink before work, and that's a big problem in what he was doing. Anyway, I say all of that to say this. Within 3 months of my divorce becoming final and quitting drinking, like choosing sobriety, choosing me, within 3 months, I had the keys to my own home, the keys to my own business. So, never settle, and even if it don't make sense, never settle and never stop if you're being pushed to do it. Like, never settle for anything that makes you feel crappy. Like, if it's like, it's good or it's bad, why would you not want to go find someone that wants your life only to be good and wants only to be a good part of your life? So, I had to learn so many hard lessons. I mean, like, I walked away from everyone. My whole entire structures I had to walk away from in order to choose sobriety, in order to choose myself, in order to bring peace, safety, happiness to myself. I lost everything. I'm full to the ground. And would I do it again? Yeah. Because if it means I can be free and my future grandkids can be free, 1,000 times. Anywho. Okay, somebody say something, please. Do I just need to be reading cards? Hopefully all of this brings inspiration, or hopefully if there's like resonance with your story, like you find the bravery, or you start asking, or you start pushing to get out. Like, the biggest thing, like, before it was faith over fear. I said to myself, faith over fear, right? And now it's freedom over fear. Like, not even faith, like, my freedom is more important, my peace is more important than anyone else's chaos. That should be your top goal. If all you've ever known in your entire life is chaos and pain, make peace your priority. Ugh. It's so hard, like, being vulnerable, and I don't know if people like it. Like, I've had so many people, they'll be like, oh, that's too dark, or that's too heavy. Like, people that I was close with, they're like, oh, nobody wants to hear that, or that's too dark. And it's like, then it's not for you. But my biggest thing is I started realizing I'm not alone. If it's happening to me, who else is it happening to? And if I'm not speaking about it and they're not speaking about it, how's that ever going to change? So, like, I do not love being vulnerable. I do not love crying. And yet, like, I want everybody to get out. I want everybody to get help. I want everybody to heal. I want everybody to live their best life. Like, if my story can help one person, maybe I've done something. And I know, like, my story, it's, sometimes we really feel really incredibly small, and we don't realize how integral and important we are. I was like, I did like a tiny little spin right there for a second, and I was like, I feel so tiny and insignificant, especially with what I do currently. But then I look back at, like, in this life, I was a mammographer. It is so healthy, but I came from that family, like, I'll give you something to cry about. People have it worse. Like, it was always punishment for crying or showing emotions. You're too sensitive. You're too this. You know. And right, my skin is sensitive. My body is sensitive. My aura is sensitive because I feel everything. Like, feeling everything is not a detriment, or that's like a superpower. If you don't feel anything, how is it ever going to change? And crying is so cathartic and healing. And I'm so tired of this society being like, crying is weak, emotions are weak. I'm so tired of all of it. Like, let's start having real conversations about mental health. Apparently I'm feeling really raw today. Always, but I guess, yeah. If I can help, that's what I do. I guess also what I was saying is going back to what I did previous to this profession, and I made such a profound impact, and I forgot about that too. Like, I worked in medical imaging, and specifically in breast cancer. I worked in breast cancer, so I forget about how much impact and how great it was in that. So I have to remind myself. I have to go back to checkpoints to be like, hey girl, you really are loved, and you really are more impactful than you ever know. You make a difference. Yeah. All right. Well, that was some okay. Yeah. It's, I don't know. Life is weird. Release is weird. I don't love any of this, and yet I keep participating. I don't know. Ugh, okay. Alright. I don't know how to say. Anyway. Yeah, I've paid dearly for that wisdom. And I don't mean like paid dearly just paid dearly I've gone through a lot of heartbreak, experience, pain to be able to give all of that experience. Yes, and if I can cry, that creates space for other people to be able to cry too, right? Maybe this is a messed up way to think of it on the other side. If you create space to laugh at a funeral because it's too serious, like, you create space for other people to laugh at funerals. And yes, that's dark, but sometimes you need to laugh at funerals just as much as you need to cry. Life is duality. Life is that we all have to cry. Like, even the sky lets loose when she gets too heavy with emotion and saturation. She cries too. So why do we as humans condemn it, demonize it, and fight it? Oh, man. There are a lot of people that should be paying me because I was really right, and they denied that. And that's not meant as a brag, or like, it's annoying because like I just started dating someone and their mom turns around and they're like, it's capital S for siren, capital S for song, capital L for lover. I love that. Thank you. And anyone that sends donations, anyone that sends donations and donates into the ministry, my ancestors are super powerful. I send that protection back. I send that love, that guidance, that abundance back. So it's SirenSong lover, but it's capital S for siren, capital S for song, and capital L for lover. I may have to just straighten it. Yeah, shorten it. But no, it's SirenSong lover. I just do capitals on all of the beginnings. Hopefully that makes sense. But anyone that donates into the ministry, like, I send extra prayer, loving blessings your way. And it also, energetically, it's like when you donate into the ministry, it's also like connecting with your energy. Because a lot of, we're going to get, what's W picture? What's W Pix? It is an ink. Yes, it is an ink. Yeah. SirenSong Lover Inc. is my full LLC, or my full business, yes. Let me go in there really quick. Hold on. So,
I'll mess with that later. No, so mine is a face, like it is a picture of me, but hold on. I don't know if that. What's that? I do not have a Discord. I need to get on it. My boyfriend's on me about that. I need to get on it. Not yet. Oh, I'm so sorry. Venmo. I'm so sorry. I do have Zelle. I do have Venmo. That is Cash App. I will work on Discord. I will work on getting a link. I've got a million. I need someone that does the technology side of it. Like, honestly, I need somebody that does the technology side of all this, because I can sit and record and chat all day long. It is the editing, the everything is, that's not my bag. I need someone to do all the technical sides of all my loves. Okay, let me see. Okay. I do not have Venmo. Let me go. Okay, so let me go. Or not Venmo. I do not have Discord. Let me go to Venmo. I don't know why my brain's all. I mean, I know why, but it is. Okay, so Venmo is at Lara, capital L for, I wonder if I can add, hold on. Okay. I'm going to put it in the link, or in the chat. Hold on one moment. Sorry, this is all new stuff to me, so I'm working on it, my loves. Fast. I'm working on it fast to be able to start earning money, right? I would also love to take this moment and thank everyone for helping me as I grow and evolve and learn and go on this journey. Like, people truly are amazing, and people are truly love, and it's just, okay, I'm back. All right, there we go. Anyway, thank you for helping me grow. Thank you for helping me learn. Thank you for helping me keep becoming the best version of myself. And that is the biggest thing with humans and everything, is that when people trigger you, they give you the biggest piece of help that you could ever have, because they showed you a blind side that you can't see. So when people trigger you, thank them, not to their face per se, but like, thank them. Be like, thank you for helping me become the best version of myself. Did the Venmo work? Hopefully. Hopefully. All right. I need to work. I need to work on getting paid. And closed mouths don't get fed. So, all right. So I went through this earlier. The Divine Feminine. This came out on the bottom earlier. I don't know if I ever actually shuffled it, but we will shuffle through these. I did pull this card, or I did say this card earlier. Vajra Yogini, the essence of all Buddhas. I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. You embody all of the wisdom of the universe. Everything that you want, you've got it. Ask for it. Start asking for it. Embody the knowledge that you get everything that you ask for. All right. Okay, so I am Lara Jo, SirenSong Lover. We can do personal readings. Like, if you want to book personal readings, you can email me sirensonglover@yahoo.com. For Cash App, maybe I did keep saying Venmo, but Cash App, it's
SirenSong Lover, capital S for Siren, capital S for Song, capital L for Lover. If you want to go to my website, and I do a ton of work, guys. I do Reiki, sound therapy, inner child healing. We do womb healing, divination, obviously tarot. I teach divination. We do tarot. We can learn tarot together. I have so many different avenues that I embark upon. I have a heavy medical background. I do a ton of like physiological, like I'm a somatic person, so a lot of healing with me is somatic. How are you dropping into your body to heal your mind and yourself, because you are the hermeticism, you are the hermit of your own life, your own self-healer. So a lot of our journey together is how are we finding ways to help you heal yourself. Yeah, because that wisdom, that knowledge is all within you. You just need to be willing to listen to it. And I come along to just remind you of how divine, beautiful, and loved you are. Joan of Arc. I love this for all of us. Joan of Arc. The warrior of light. I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. Okay. Hazy Herblet. My love. Joan of Arc. Believe in yourself. The warrior of light. I want you to repeat after me. I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. You are your biggest warrior, your biggest champion, your biggest advocate. You fight for your light. Keep doing it. Keep wielding that sword, even if no one understands, even no one helps you. Do it for you. The angels stand with you. Okay. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch out decks. We're just going to keep moving along. I'm going to start kind of cleaning up a little bit. I'm probably hopping out. I got a boyfriend to feed or something. What do boyfriends eat? I don't know. I was married for so long, and then I was kind of like a single married woman. That's complicated. He traveled, so I was a single wife, but still married. And he made my life hell. I don't know. So trying to date and figure out how to reconnect with other people is like, what do boyfriends eat? Because I'm confused. Like, do they go for walks? Are they like, do you have to put their blankets in the dryer? Like, I don't know. It's such a weird thing when you go from married to single to dating, because you learn a whole new ball game. Okay, we're gonna hop into the true emotional deck. So actually, let's see what's going on. I'm a little just snoopy, nosy. Let's see. Married. Are you dealing with someone married? Do you want to get married? Let's see. Let's see. Mm-hmm. The one thing with these cards, they're very slippery, so they just go like flying everywhere all the time. And the first time, because I have readers, right? Just like therapists have therapists, readers have readers. And when the reader that I have a really close connection with, that like we do personal work, and I had just gotten this deck, I had just taken it with me, like I hadn't seen her in a long time, and we were meeting out at a battlefield, and I just gotten this deck, and I was like, oh cool, like it was still in the package, not even open. I opened it while I was waiting for her to get there. Anyway, so unopened, took it to meet her, gave it to her. She was the first one to like shuffle through, and the cards are so stupidly slippery and just fly everywhere. And she's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, maybe as readers we need to be truly putting in input and letting each other know what the quirks and things are with various decks. Yeah, like
Good for small hands, good for big hands, very slippery. Because, like, these, I love these cards. And I actually have these in the mini version, which works out really incredibly better for me. But it's a lot to hold. Like, I've got tiny hands. So, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so true emotional deck. Let's go back to that. Let's go. Let's see. What do we want to say? How do we want... Because it just tried to slide out the whole deck again. Okay. Psycho. Crazy ex. Obsessed. Won't let go. Crazy ex. Obsessed. Won't let it go. Psycho. Whoever's in your energy that shouldn't be in your energy, maybe we need to let them out. So that's the other thing. We can have strong, intense bonds to people, and it can be spell work. Like, it can be someone has tried to bind themselves to us, like do love work unwillingly. People get crazy and obsessed because spell work has been done on them, either by you or them or someone else. So psycho is not cool. I found out the hard way. Like, I thought I wanted somebody obsessed with me, and they are. And now I'm like, you are married. Yet you are still very much watching me. I don't got time for you, boy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Love message. Okay, so... Love message. That feels messy as hell. I don't know. The whole... this whole deck right now feels messy. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I have a love message come in from my crazy psycho ex because he's feeling like shit. Do you have a crazy psycho ex feeling like shit that wants to send you a love message? It's kind of in the collective. Divine women, divine feminines, we're amazing. We get a lot of suckers. We get a lot of people crazy, and then they treat us like crap, and then they feel like shit. So don't play into that. Like, if you're in my collective, you're a divine feminine. Yeah? If you're here, the message resonates. That's... yeah. Okay. All right. These garbage boys weren't nothing. We had a lot of karmics we had to clean out and clear out. Actually, I've been speaking to that a lot recently. Like, it took a really long time for me to close out cycles, and then once I finally did, and now I look at it and go, no, it's like we're all collectively clearing out karmic cycles. So as one of us is going through it, some of us started going through it a lot sooner, right? Some of us hit our awakenings earlier, and it was meant to be like, okay, I awoke so that when you awake, you have a mentor there that wouldn't have been there before. Too late. Whatever your ex has to say to you, it's too late. They fucked up. It's too late. It was a karmic lesson for you, for them, for everyone involved. I think a lot of people learn that there really are spiritual consequences and weights to playing games, to taking too long, to treating you like shit. Like, there are consequences, but you have to learn the lesson. They have to learn it. Anyway. Queen bee, secure, confident, boss bitch, career focused. I love that Alcatraz oh no, that was Bobby Lowe. Sorry. Bobby Lowe decided she wanted to... I was like, well, there's something moving behind me. It was a cat. It was a cat. That cat is all over, but she's Queen Bee. Secure, confident, boss bitch, career focused. Close out the karmic cycles. Okay, this is a hard lesson I've been on right now. Close out the karmic cycles because you are your own boss babe. You deserve your best life. And all the people, things, places that you love deserve the best life too. Like, I've been in a really hard funk. I lost a lot of stuff and I couldn't figure out anything, but then I'm like, I want to live my best life for this crazy chick. Like, I want to make sure that she has the best life.
and that she's well taken care of. Because, like, for my kitties, they're a part of my spiritual practice as well. They help with healing and integration. Like, when you're in town, if you come over physically, a lot of times, like, the kitties are a part of that practice. So it's how do I build the best life for me and those that I love the most and I want to bring forward with me, regardless of whether it's people, places, things, cats. Like, how am I building the best life because I want that for myself and those that I love. So be willing to sit in your embodiment, do the hard work, let go of the people that don't fill your cup, that waited too long. Because if they felt somebody else's grass is greener, then why do you want to talk to them? Why do you want to hang out with them? Anyway, sit in your embodiment. Be your own queen. Dictate your own life. Create your own dream. Love child. Create your own cosmic spiritual love child with yourself. Create your beauty, your art, your passion. That helps you bring whatever it is to the world that you need to bring. We all need to wake up. We all need to start falling in love with ourselves, with our life, with nature. Abel, my love. Falling in love with cats named Abel that can't stay off the table. Because I should have named him the Void. Okay, so like they're brothers. They're Cain and Abel. I should have named him the Void because he's a black cat. And if you ever want to get over the fears of the supernatural, shadows, or anything scary, owning a black cat will help you real fast. Yeah, because I live in really scary territory, and this happened a few months back, and it's happened before, but it happened recently, so it's relevant. And I heard or saw something come out of the kitchen. It was really dark, and I was sitting on the couch. I was like, and I heard noises in the kitchen. I was like, oh God, please don't let that be a demon. And I just saw like a little like black paw. And I was like, is that a demon or is that a cat? And then he fully emerged. I'm like, okay, well, I guess he reappeared in cat form, but it was close. So if you ever want to get over the fear of things that go bump in the night, a black kitty will help with a great deal of that. Speaking of which, he's yeah. Yeah. I release them. Any spirit, like especially because I live on plantation land in a ghost town, so I get a lot of transient angry spirits, so I'm constantly releasing them, constantly saying anything that's not for the highest good of this house, leave. Like yeah, and that's a lot of what I do. A lot of it is like, you are free to go. If you want to hang out, you can. If you don't, please leave. Like, you don't have to be stuck here. And that's brought a lot of healing also, because I have released a lot of like trapped spirits on this land in this area intentionally. I moved onto this property knowing what it was. Barely, but I moved onto this property knowing what it was. Oh yeah, that happened. Yeah, I guess. And the thing with the spirit world, is that they respect your boundaries and listen to you better than humans do. So, I love talking to the spirit world because you can tell the spirit, like, get out, I'm not happy, and they will. Thank you, Sarah, for sending that out for her. I appreciate that more than you could ever know. Yeah. Which one? I'm like, there's 5 of them. You have to be more Pacific. And there's a few, it's actually tricky because I have 2 of my kitties are Jersey kitties. Jersey kitties. And one has a tail and one doesn't. So my kids, who aren't around very often, but they call them heads and tails, because if you look at them really quickly, you can't tell who is who unless you see if there's a tail or not. And it's funny. And they are sworn enemies. They're not, but they are. And
I'm trying to think of anything else to add about them. They're a crackhead. They share a brain cell. They share a quarter of a brain cell, which is no. I love them dearly. I adore them dearly. Each of my cats have like the embodiment of a human in my life. So it's like each cat has a human that they're guardian of. So while I have 5 cats, it's like they each have a human that they correlate with. And because all of the cats correlate with me, like I am the guardian of the guardians. So it gets tricky. And the kitty with no tail, she's a bobtail kitty, and she created quite a stir when she came in. They were not happy. So it was something. I live in a house run by cats, and yeah, I love it, and it's part of my life, and I don't know what else to say about all that. Yeah. Other than I am Lara Jo, SirenSong lover, high priestess, shaman, spiritual badass, Dr. Doolittle, human doctor. Not really human doctor. I just, I worked in the medical field a lot, and I do a lot of diagnosis. Like, it's a challenge. I'll be walking around behind someone, and I will be mentally diagnosing, like, how can I energetically help them heal? Or if I go back to, I wonder if I have that book out here. I don't have that book out here. One of the books I have is called The Metaphysical Anatomy, and what it does is it addresses like the ailments that we have. It addresses what the actual emotional core. Yeah. I'm not like the others. I do literally walk around thinking about how to heal people all day long. Even in the middle of the night. Even the people that don't want to be healed, yeah, I'm thinking constantly about the people that don't want to be healed, how to help them and make their life better. I'm not like all the others. It's, yeah, okay. Yeah. You know what? Because I do exist. If I exist, that means I exist in you as well. So you exist. The beauty that you see me is the beauty you see in you, my love. I just happen to be wearing it on the sleeve for you to say, yep, I see you. Because you see me, I see you. Ooh. Healed people heal people. Keep pushing, baby. Even when it hurts. We have that paradigm like hurt people, and it's true. But hurt people can also heal people. Because we can say, you know what, I'm never going to be like that again. So be brave enough to be a healed person healing people. Yeah. Yeah. I had a debate with someone, and they were mad at me. They said, like, I've lost patience for you because you try to save people that don't want to be helped. And I say I save people because even though they don't see their worth, I do. And what bothered me was the person that was mad at me and lost patience at me for helping people that didn't want to be saved. They were one of the people that I was helping to save. And I'm like, you have no patience for me trying to help save you. I guess, like, that's the lesson. Like, you don't want to be saved, but I know you're worthy. And I love you enough to hold space for you to heal and to help you grow and expand. I love you enough to hold you accountable and get your anger when you don't like what I have to say. I love you enough to heal you when you kicked me 5 minutes ago. That is the irony with, like, working, what I've done in my life too. Like, I have helped take care of people with grace, compassion that have hurt me the most. I have taken care of them as if they were the most prized person in the whole entire world. So I am not like the others, and it's yeah, it's something. It is something. I'm very much like, I believe that people, no matter how crappy they are, they deserve dignity. So, like, some of the people that have been the worst in my life,
I have like a affinity towards like death doula and death and dying because it doesn't scare me, it doesn't bother me. Like I walk part shadow, part light. Like I know that about myself. Like I walk in the shadow and that don't bother me. It did, and I've just become really accustomed to it, or really radically, like it was like I knew it was hard for me, so I became radically better at like doing the hard thing, because I know that that's how I'm gonna grow. So like death doula, like when my father was dying and my ex-mother-in-law, and they both did horrible things to both me and my ex, and yet things that neither of us will talk about or acknowledge, or just there was every reason to not treat them compassionately. I was the one that showed up, and I was the one that helped them bathe and helped them change and helped them, and just made sure that even though they were not kind in life, I was the one that showed up and took care of them, because they at least deserve to be treated kindly and like humans and with dignity. I don't know. Whew. Man, that's some like throat chakra clearing there. Whew. Sweet talk. Well, okay, so here's the thing. When I get good stuff, I turn around and I help other people and I pour into other people. So it's always like when I get stuff, I share it. Like when I get information, when I get new tools, like so I went into my ministry so that I can get new tools or expand my knowledge or anything. That's like when I get it, I turn around and I share it right back in. So that you can, because like Hazy Herblat, I want to teach you how to do what I do so that you can turn around and help the people that you do. Okay, so first off, I am an ordained minister. First off, I am ordained minister. I'm a ton of things. Like I've got my real estate. I've done medical imaging. I do Reiki. I do sound therapy, womb healing, all of that, right? Yeah. So then it's that whole, I call it ministry because it really is like, how are we sowing love? How are we spreading love? How are we spreading that that message that we want to embody in that world? How do we show up? It doesn't have to be anybody else's ministry. It's my ministry. I love that we're all ordained ministers in here, because that does mean that we can lay hands on people to do Reiki. Anything I tell people, I'm like, if you ever want to be a healer, first thing you do, get your ordained ministry. It doesn't cost that much. And I am going to say this. I was not spiritual. I did not have any religious background. I did not have any of that. There is a different calling and anointing on your life when you become ordained. And it doesn't sound like it, right? You just do this thing online. You pay like $40. It ain't that big a deal, except for you truly do have an anointing on your life once you become ordained. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it happened. It happened with me. It was so subtle. I didn't realize it till years after the fact. So, yes, and it's how are we taking every part that we've played, every role that we've played, and how are we making that of use to other people? Like we were watching Robots last week, and it was like, see a need, fill a need. When you have clients and it's like, yeah, you may not, like you have so many talents and skills from your past that you pull forward from this lifetime. So it's, yes, how are we helping people with skills that we didn't even know we'd ever be able to use? So, and, helping the chiropractors. Okay. All right. How do you do your sessions, Zara? Is that potentially something we could talk about on the other end? Because like I say, the technical side of it, I don't do. I love reading all day long. That's all stuff I can do. It's like the booking, where to find, get your name out there, like all of that. Here's the thing that also makes me upset. Okay. That sounds delicious. I have some adjustments I need done so bad right now. Like, I need to be turned around and find my healers. Like the people that I was working with, it's kind of gone south.
Nice. Okay, it makes me so upset when people are like, I wish I had that skill. Like, they're like, I wish I could speak to spirits. And I was like, you can speak to spirits. Like, oh, I got to talk to my mom. You can talk to your mom all day long right now. And she will respond. And she will answer. And it's like, you just gotta be willing and receptive and open. And use discernment and know how to protect yourself. That is the other part. Like, all of my stuff has been self-taught. Like, all of it's been self-taught. So I've learned how to also protect myself and get myself out of danger too without guidance of others. So it's been a little, yeah. I love the, like, you know, people, oh, I can't do that. Oh, okay. I love this when people are like, I can never make sound bowls sing. And the first thing I do with clients when they come into my space, I put a sound bowl in their hand. Especially, I live in the Bible Belt with the South, right? And people don't do sound bowls here. And then I want to touch on that. And so one of the first things I do is sound bowl. And they're like, oh, I've never experienced that before. And I'm like, yep. And then they're like, I love it. And I'm like, I know. So I love, the first thing I love doing, like with clients, if they want to learn tarot or if I feel that they have, because a lot of mine too is how am I pulling out their talent so that they can go further down that road. So like my friends that are shamans, it's like, how am I helping them put them on that path to that shaman route? So the first thing I love to do is put like a deck in someone's hand or something tool wise in someone's hand. My goal is to turn around and teach other people. So I wanted to say this, and this is what makes me really mad too, is I do live in a small town, and I kind of got blacklisted. We'll just kind of say it that way, but they all felt like there wasn't enough work for all of us. It was like, do you not realize that, like, okay, so here's the part, because I moved to town, I moved to the Bible Belt, and there were a lot of shops around here, and I've been in every one of them. I've had a lot of experience with all of them. And I've gotten, like, shunned. The thing is that when I go into each of these shops, it's always like, I'm giving content. I'm always the networker. So when I go into a shop, it's like, oh, hey, I need a sound girl. I do sound, but the vibe don't match between us. So instead, I will give them the name of a sound person that I would love to. I hopefully will remember. I don't know if I will remember, but I would love to. I would love to email and talk further back and forth with you. And I really do need to get on Discord. I need to learn more about it. It gets frustrating because people will be like, have you watched this movie? And I'm like, dude, I was so busy raising kids and being a mom that I didn't have time to get on Discord. I didn't have time to get up on social medias like everybody wanted. I didn't have time for all that. I've been raising babies since the age of 15 up until just recently. So like almost 3 decades of raising babies. It's been a lot. Like, I haven't had a lot of time for a lot of stuff, but I definitely need to start getting out there more. Anyway, what I was going to say about, like, the networking, and it was, like, when I go into shops and they have needs that are met, even if I can fill that need, yet I feel that someone would be a better fit for them, I would rather match them with a different practitioner that would be a better fit for them. I'm not over here, like, there's not enough work, like, with both of you. It's not like, oh, I'm competing with you for clients. It's like, how are we helping each other find the right practitioners for them? Like, I'm not out here to steal work. It's like, how are we helping each other grow and learn and keep going? How do we help each other? Like, when I learn, oh my God, I love doing this. When I learn new sound stuff, I love turning around and teaching it to my boyfriend. Or when I do new breathwork stuff, I love turning around and like, how do I teach it to him? Because he and I, when we part ways, like, I want to make sure that he has a good spiritual background. I want to make sure that when he has kids, he can protect his kids. I want to make sure, like, there's a lot of stuff going on over there that I'm like, I don't want to gatekeep information. If anything, we should all be sharing so that way we can all help each other get out of here and crack the code. Like, yeah. Okay, that was a soapbox. I don't mean to. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. It's like, cause then it's like, and
I want to talk about why I started streaming, but yeah, like I love sharing. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so I was doing a bunch of protection stuff yesterday, and I wish I had like recorded it. Although some of that still, as I'm setting practice up, I don't know if I'm necessarily recording all of that too. I'm not okay. So where it's challenging for me is, I used to have large social media following. And when I went through everything, I cleaned out the closet. Like I had almost 800 friends on Facebook. I went down to less than 70. So the challenge with like streaming on places, it's like now I don't have the follower requirement to be able to stream. So yeah. I don't know where else it's going. Anyway, okay. Yeah. I love sharing. I think it's awesome. I think the more we share, because it's like, if you learn something cool and you teach it to someone, how may that unlock something for them, and then they turn around and teach you something too? Okay, so I actually do want to know how we would collaborate. I want to exchange some information. I want to exchange some information. And then, yes, we should all figure that out. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. That is amazing. That is amazing. That is amazing. I love this. I love this for all of us. And please, if anything, turn around and help the next person. Like when you can, turn around and help the next person, because you don't know who's going to turn around and help you. And the beauty and the whole thing with like healers, when you first start on the healing journey, it's like no matter what a healer would charge you, and it feels so weird because nobody believes in healing, right? But no matter what a healer would charge you, it would never accurately compensate for how much they actually heal you. And that is the challenge. And it's like, when I heal someone, then they turn around and they heal someone. And then, so it's like, even though I may not be compensated, it's like I am compensated because I helped. Yeah. And I'm kind of on like a donations right now myself, but I'm working on it. I am starting to work on more like fee based, but, when I can help someone, and like I say, I may never be compensated truly for what I do or learned or the resources, yet they turn around and help someone, and then they turn around and help someone, and then they turn around and help someone. So it's like, even though we may feel like, oh, we are never compensated, we actually touch and impact lives more monumentally than anyone else. I will tell this, as I've gone through Reiki, as I've done sound therapy, as I've done all of that, as I've learned to tap into myself, I've given up medication. And like, I used to be on daily medications for like migraines and daily medications for depression. Yes, I still have depression, yet now I learn how to go out, freak out from it, regulate a little bit, and then be able to keep going. Like, regulated doesn't mean crazy. Regulated means connected. When people are dysregulated, they like disconnect, and that's not actually what we need to be doing. So it's okay to feel heavy things. It's okay to feel chaotic. That means you are actually in tune with yourself. Be willing to feel that, and be willing to also bring yourself out of that pain. Okay. I don't know if any of that makes sense. I think I'm probably about to hop out. I have a feeling I'm going to... Okay. Maybe not. I thought I was going to have company sooner than what I did. I know my stomach's growling. That is true. That is something I need to clean up on also. A lot of everything is hangman. How are we reprogramming, restructuring our brain? Because words are spells. And we do call in a lot of stuff that we maybe don't necessarily wish to. So how are we, when we catch it? Okay, so for me, I'll be like, oh, I'm in lack mindset. Nope. How do I change that, reframe that to, I'm not in lack mindset. I just have a blockage. How do I clear that blockage? Because then once you start going down that, like, no, this is programming that is not correct. Yep. How do you transmute? How do you alchemize? How do you take that chaos and make your bridge? How do you take everything that they've thrown at you? How do you take all of that material and transmute it into what you need it for? Because that is your high priestess embodiment. Like, how do you, or magician, you're the master manifestor, the alchemizer of your life. Start acting like it. When we speak, we command a room. How are you commanding people? Are you standing in your authority? Are you giving away your power? Do you want to keep doing that? That's why they call it spelling. That's why when you say good morning, did you have a good morning? No. We don't want to be morning all night. So that's why you'll hear them say grand rising, Haya. That I don't. I love that. To plant. So I don't know how to do like a multi-stream, and I'm actually gonna be helping out pretty soon. Just because, like I say, I do have to. Everybody probably wants to eat. Oh. Okay. Do you want to show me, Hazy? Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera. I'm gonna turn the camera to show you that. I'm gonna work on Discord tonight, but look at the mess I just made with all of that. Like, I'll probably be streaming tomorrow next. I am trying to get in daily and do at least an hour or two. And I will work on Discord. I am seeing my boyfriend, and because he's young, you know, maybe he can teach me some technology. I'm not even that old. I just, I've got an old soul. So, like, even though I'm not old chronologically, technology is not my thing. I'm, like, old school. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I made such a mess down here. And my coworkers are trying to help me here, so hopefully the chat's. So, okay. Moment of truth, I will be 42 by the end of the month. So, I don't know if I look 42 or if I don't look 42. I will tell you I have had 4 pregnancies, and I've lost 80 pounds. So I'm actually reverse aging, I feel. Like, I look at, like, oh my gosh, my ex and my lawyer, who are both, they look 42, and I look 42 sometimes too, but they look 42, and I'm like, oh man, you boys are not living the good life. Like, you need to be breathing, resting, drinking water, meditating, maybe shove a crystal up your ass, which I know is very personal. I love to talk about, Lily of the Valley, you just joined, and I'm just about to hop out. I talk a lot about sexuality and divinity. I talk a lot about sexual, like, health, liberation, all of that too. So a lot of people, when they are stuck on themselves and their ego, I say you need to go shove a crystal up your ass. You'd probably be a lot happier. I can make you some recommendations on some links. But that's, I've gotten to the point. Here's the beauty. When you start hitting over the age of 40, you really do start telling people, I'm sick and tired of your shit. I'm not doing this anymore. So once I hit 42, when people are like, once I hit 40 and people are like, I don't like you, I'm like, I don't really give a fuck. Are you helping me? Are you paying my bills? Are you making me scream? Are you making me happy? Are you feeding me? No? Okay. See ya. I don't know. There's something that you become feral, I think, at 40 as a woman. It's like we're tired and we're sick of shit and we're out of here. Anyway. All right. Okay. I was complaining about how slick those cards were and they just straight slid out. Okay. I'm going to take one more moment as I clean up all this, and then I'm going to read through the chat just I'm going to leave the chat open for just a moment. I'm going to leave it up streaming for just a moment as I clean up. And because I want to go back and read, and I do want to go and get some Discord handles. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. I know it's been just a crazy Friday, or crazy Sunday. I don't even know what day it is. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the tribe. Thank you for donating. Thank you for donating energy. Thank you for showing up on your hardest days, even when you don't want to. I needed you to show up. And obviously you need me to show up because I was here. So thank you. Thank you for giving me the space, to show up for. So, it's been you know what? I cry and laugh all the time. I can cry 1 second and laugh the next second. You guys have seen it. So, that's just life. We have to embrace that. It feels crazy. It feels chaotic. And yet, what we've been doing ain't been working. So, why do we keep doing it? Okay, my loves. Does anybody else need the chat open? I am going to leave it open for just another minute or two. Should you wish to book a service, you can email me at SirenSongLover@yahoo.com. I also have a Shopify store at SirensGadgetStore.com. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I do long form here, but I add a lot of shorts there and stuff. Reels, just sassy shit, because I'm sassy. Let's see what else. You want to go to my website? It's SirenSongLover.in. Yeah. I can't wait to be back, and I can't wait to collaborate. I'm glad, yeah. Okay, so I am going to have to write down, I'm trying to clean up this so that when I get done with this, I can go do what else I need to do, because I am one of those, if I don't do shit in the moment, I lose it. It really is. Also, I have a lot of stuff that I typically do and send out, so I do it, send it out, and get it done. Otherwise, I forget about it. I don't know. Let's see. And like I said, I'm gonna have to ask this man about Discord, because he was talking about it yesterday. He was talking about yesterday was Discord. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what all that is. But then obviously I need to be on it. If it keeps calling you, you need to be doing it. So Discord obviously is calling me because you guys are asking for it, and I love that. I love growing. I love expanding. I love doing homework. I love all of that. So if you guys do it, whether you guys do it or not, I always show up. That is the thing with, my kids were giving me a hard time. I was like, yeah, I show up 100%. Dedication, 100% every day, regardless of whether anyone else shows up or not. I'm here. Maybe not always recording. Yeah, we can always connect outside of Twitch, and then that's probably easier sometimes to get a hold of me or chat with me is outside of here. I really am one of those, to get my attention, you have to get my attention, because, yeah, I've learned how to astral travel while staring at my ex-husband's face. So when he would be yelling at me and just adamant, and I would have astral traveled, and I was, in the club dancing with Usher. So sometimes get my attention is really tricky, because I can be standing right in front of you and perfect astral traveling and not really be affected by your bad attitude. So, all right, my loves, I did bring pen and paper out. I brought pen and paper out, even though I talked about homework, I didn't do my own. I brought it out too. I don't know if that makes sense. I made a mess. Bye, guys. Have a good day. Thank you, Zara. Good luck with your clients. I look forward to seeing you soon. Hopefully, I'll check in. I'm going to put it on the clock. So, wait, is that 6 to 7? Yeah, when my boyfriends come in, we're food. I need food desperately. I'm not a big fan of lemon water, but food I will do. I'm gonna have him take me out. I had like such a hankering to just go out yesterday, and I didn't. But we're going out today. Okay, so 6 to 7, so that's 9. Wait, you guys are. What time is it now? Because it's 5:46 for me now. So are you 2:46 or 3:46? Hazy Herbalife, are you still in there, my love? Okay, so you're 3 hours, so it would be 9 to 10 for me on Thursdays. Okay, I'm gonna put it on the calendar, tentatively. And okay, cool. When do you normally stream, my love? Okay. So I am random also. I'm gonna try and get more consistent. And also, here's the thing: is that if I do, I would like to maybe start sending out notifications ahead of time, like, "Hey, going live," or I do need to start working on a schedule. So I'll work on that. We'll work on that. I got some stuff I got to do on my end, right? All right, Zayara, I'm putting you on the schedule. Like I say, Thursday. I would like to try and catch in. I'll see what I can do. That's a weird date for me, and that's lovely. Okay. Let's see. Do you actually, and here's the thing too with yours, my love, do you record your streams and then post them? Or their highlights? Oh, there's my phone. Dropped my phone. Almost on my cat. That's awesome. Sorry, Kane. Sorry, Kane. Okay, so if you go into your computer and you go to your, if you want, I can hop on my computer, because it's a setting on your computer. You just go, do you have a computer? But if you have a computer, you can set the setting on your phone where it will record it, every stream that you do, and then you can either post it, send it somewhere else. Like, you could technically record it and then send it to wherever, Instagram, and or you can do highlights on them. Like, after this, I can do a highlight on it and it'll pull out like a chunk of it and then repost it. Yeah, if you want one day, thank you. A lot find my aura alluring. Rarely anyone actually gets to entertain it, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna start writing down some herbs. Let me see. Just taking another look here. Discord. It was 52 card pickup, and it really was annoying. Let me see. Okay. I'm about to pop out my loves. Alright. Cool. Okay. Alright. Alright. Well, Darkman 2000. I'm just about to hop out, man. But if you would like to come out and check my aura soon. Zayara, thank you, my love, for hanging with me. It's been a beautiful ride. I know it's been a long ride. I'm glad you got to come in and hang out. You got to get some exercise and some self-care in on this Sunday. Thank you so much. Darkman 2000, should you like to hang out sometime, I'll be coming back soon. My aura is magnetic, and I have lots to bring to this world and lots to teach everyone. So should you like my vibe, you can join and subscribe. And I hope you have a beautiful day, guys. Thank you.